just about go time at Brunswick. Umpire holds the ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit and Nigel Reeves.
Up goes Goyder, wins the ruck, knockdown easily, comes over to Moore. He gets some sort of kick onto his boot. It's over there to Ty Anderson. Once again, he has his bounce, drives the ball there, looking for, is it in Bennett? The ball lands short, comes over to Dunsborough, missed there by Moore. Back over to the Sharks again through, is it Green? He gets a handball out. His teammates under a little bit of pressure, comes over to the captain and Patterson. Patterson gets the ball back. There to Green again. Green gets a handball over to Moore, but the ball goes over the boundary right in front of the Harvey Brunswick Lions interchange box.
Jake Green in the game early for Dunsborough. He picked up a number of possessions in that first minute.
Ball will be thrown in right in front of the commentary box. Goyder versus Fenwick. Ball goes over the back. No one wins it directly. Comes over to Sulis. His opponent out of the way. And Fenwick ties up the Dunsborough player there right on centre wing, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up.
Must be a bit daunting for Fenwick. He is a big lad.
He's a big lad. Goyder wins the ruck, knocked down easily there to Fimino. Umpire sees that he had prior opportunity, and Sulis will take the relieving kick, free kick for the Lions. Looking to go in the middle of the ground. He's got Finucane right in front of us on his own, but he goes shorter than that. Looking for Humphreys. The ball goes past him. Anderson's in there. The handball comes over. Umpire's seen that as a throw. Not so sure about that.
Already the two danger men for HBL, Anderson and Sulis, have got hands on the footy.
So Anderson to drive the ball inside 50 for the Lions. It's a great kick looking there for Humphreys. Humphreys takes a great mark. Superb mark, great lead, great pass from Anderson there, and Humphreys will have the first legitimate shot on goal from about 35 metres out. Tight angle.
That was a terrific kick. It was terrifically well weighted. It let Humphreys float in between the two Dunsborough defenders. Mind you, he still had to do a bit to take the mark, but it was a great start.
So right behind this one here, Craney, Jared Humphreys comes in for this first kick on goal in this game. Deliberate shot on goal, pushes it across the face of the goal and won't make the distance. The ball's spoilt down there. Comes over to Williams, is it? The ball's out there to Candy. Candy gets a kick down the centre wing. Looking there for, it's wrapped up there by Emmett Templeton, and the umpire will come and throw it up about 70 metres out from the Lions' goal. So Simon Moore for Dunsborough's got his hands on the ball early. Goyder wins the ruck not once, getting down easily. Comes over there to Patterson, gets some sort of handball out towards Green. It's picked up there by Harvey Brunswick. Oh, geez, it's hard to see from this side of the ground, isn't it? Puts the ball into the middle of the ground there, looking, was it for Ward? So the ball's gone straight up in the air there. Underneath it is my man, Billy Boucher. He's well spoilt there. Comes back to Moore. Still inside the lines, forward 50. Gets a handball out. Could have had prior opportunity. Umpire doesn't see it that way. Should come in now, but the ball spills out. Once again here, I think it's to Rout. No, it's Sebastian Dixon. He puts the ball into the middle there, looking for...
Oh, thought he'd had it, but play the whistle did. They are well played by Dunsborough.
Candy gets the ball down there looking for, was it Kevin Vandergore? That's a beautiful name too, isn't it? Vandergore. He ties the ball up. Umpire's letting the ball go on here. Comes back over to Crichton. He gets a kick down there. He finds Emmett Templeton on the wing. The umpire says play on advantage. Sulis comes in for the Shepherd, but Templeton kicks the ball down there looking for, is it Williams? But he's outmarked. And Dunsborough will take the relieving free kick inside.
That's an early contender for the CPR outdoor mark of the day. Weaver, he pushed back into that very nicely. So
ball's on the outer wing there. He's got a player inside in Fimino if he wants him. Goes down the line there looking for and finding, is it Ward? The Ward's still about 2 kicks out from Dunsborough's goal. Drives the ball long, nearly kicks into the man on the mark. Ball spoilt there, no, but it's a great mark, and that's taken by Kai Holmwin. Still too far out to score. Drives the ball into the centre of the ground there, looking for Patterson.
There's the big fella. He's got it, I think.
And the umpire's come in and paid that mark.
Yeah, he had it all.
Jones.
The big fella down there put his hands just up, and everyone else went around him, Weaver, and he was just too tall, too strong, and those hands just clasped onto the footy. And it'll be a good confidence start for Big Jones. Of course, he's coming off quite a few last week.
I thought Patterson might have got a fingernail on that one, but the umpire didn't see it that way. It's Billy Jones. 7 last week. He's going to have a deliberate shot on goal from about 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. And he comes now, deliberate shot on goal, makes the umpire work a fair bit, and it's gone through for a minor score.
That's something Dunsborough are going to have to do here. Just make the most of your opportunities. Get a chance like that. I know you got to. It's always a chance to miss. They do it in the AFL, but it's just one of those things that Chase Creedy would be demanding. Just make the most of your opportunities, and once you've got it into that forward line, lock it in, cover the exits.
So the first score of the game goes to the Dunsborough Sharks and the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard as Crichton brings the ball in there looking for Anderson. He's well wrapped up, spills back out there to Vandergore. He has a shot on goal, but it goes across the face of the goal.
You're right. You're right about that name, Weaver. Vandergore.
Yeah. Well, he's wearing number 13, so he must be a pretty reasonable player, shouldn't he?
Did you wear 13?
May have.
May
have. As Crichton will bring the ball back in once again.
I should have known that. It's gold frame in D-Mill club rooms.
Goes on the outer side of the ground there, looking for Templeton, but he's well sport and the ball goes out of bounds, about 70 metres out from the Dunsborough goal.
We might send a message out to both the coaches to come over this side and play this side, Weaver.
Yes, or yell out your name before you actually take a mark or go near the footy. It'd be even more handier. As it's Goyder, he's going to be opposed to Fenwick. He might have more than 3 or 4 inches on Fenwick as far as height goes. Ball's thrown in, wins the ball down, looking there for more, but it comes out to Anderson once again. He has a bounce as he normally does, just the one bounce this time, coming down the line looking for Boucher, but the ball goes over his head, and the relieving mark for Dunsborough is taken by Scott. He comes into the middle of the ground, and he finds, is it Holman? So Holman, once he's brought it over this side of the ground there, looking for Darcy Hume. The ball goes over his head, comes over there to, is it Rout? Rout gets the ball down, looking there for Bennett, but Bennett's outplayed there, and it's Green who gets a handball, but it comes back to Rout. He tries to go through a gap that no one's seen, and the umpire sees it that way with prior opportunity.
We might grab a bit of footage on that, Green. He had the footy stuck behind his legs, and he just couldn't get it around the front of his body.
Noah Ash comes into the middle of the ground. It's a beautiful-looking kick, and he finds Reynolds. Reynolds changes play right across the other side of the ground. It's a high kick, but the player had plenty of time, and Dunsborough take the mark in the middle of the field. He comes back straight up the corridor looking there for Jones. It goes over his head. It comes there to Crichton. Back over there to, is it Ward? Ward gets a handball out. Comes back there to Billy Jones. He's working hard for a full forward, isn't he? Way outside. Ash just gets a poor bounce, but the ball comes back in there to Darcy Hume. Ball's still alive. Ash tries to get a kick. It's well smothered there by Crichton. And the ball's tied up, and the umpire will come and throw it up about 40 metres out from Dunsborough's goal.
Dunsborough have started well here, and as they did against South, but then they dropped off. So they need to be able to keep up the mental attitude they've got now, because it's working.
Goyder gets a tap down, but Sulis is first man there. Gets a kick, but Goyder comes in and makes up for an errant ruck knock and smothers the ball.
He started well, the big fella, Weaver.
Oh, he's a big fella, all right, isn't he? The ball's about 45 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Sneeder scored, deliberate shot there by Jones about 5 minutes ago. Pushed it across the face of the goal for the only score in the game so far. Just having a little bit of trouble here getting the ball. Might have gone under a couple of cars here, but they're putting a lot of pressure on Dunsborough.
They are at that, and they're using the ball well, and they're thinking about what they're doing with the footy. They're not panicking with it. And you need to stay composed, especially against the good sides.
Really looking to use the corridor, especially forward to centre. As the ball's thrown in, and this time it's Black that goes up for the ruck knock. It's scored his push back. Comes down there to Rout. It's well tackled there.
I like that. They're using Black, who's a fair ruckman in his own right up forward, and that pushes Gorder back down the lines if it's a quick kick out.
Once again, Black wins the ruck knock down, looking there for more. The ball's pushed out. That could have been deemed as deliberate. The umpire doesn't see it that. He does see it that way. And Dunsborough would take the relieving kick back into play. Simon Moore. Moore being prominent early. Normally doesn't waste the footy. That's a short kick, not 15. Played on there by, is it Paris Murdoch? Puts the ball up inside, forward 50. About 20 metres out of goal, but it's Anderson once again. Gets a handball over there, looking for William Bryars, and the ball's rushed through for a minor score. Ball back in straight away, and Crichton takes a mark. Still 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Looking to use all his options here. Goes straight across goal and finds Williams for HBL. Williams goes short once again. Still inside defensive 50, and it's Dixon who takes the relieving mark. So working really hard here. Dunsborough manning up really well. Comes across goal. Just outside 50, and Pridmore's got the mark there for the Harvey Brunswick Lions. Dunsborough have manned up well. He's going to go short once again and finds Williams. So just over a kick out from goal. Plays on straight away. Goes to route. He takes a bounce. He could have another one if he wants, and he does so. Gets the ball. I think it's Dixon. He puts it out there in the front. We're not sure who that player is, and I'm not sure either because he's not on the team sheet. And the ball's rushed for Harvey Brunswick, and it's rushed out on centre wing on the outer side of the ground.
20 for HBL?
20 for HBL would be nice.
I'm on it, Weaver.
He's had a fair bit of the footy. I can't call him number 20. As the ball's thrown up here, it's Fenwick v. Gorda. Gorda wins the ruck. Down once again, it comes over to Anderson. Drives the ball forward there. In front of his opponent there was Pridmore. He gets the ball down, looking there for Humphries. He's got a couple of metres on his opponent. He just wheels around on his left foot, has a shot on goal, and the ball goes across the face of goal for a minor score. And the opening score for HBL comes about 10 minutes into the first quarter. No goals scored so far on the South West Isuzu scoreboard. With Dunsborough 2 points, HBL 1.
Yeah, a bit of a lack of scoring going on, Weaver. Fair bit of work going on, but lack of scoring.
The ball's brought back in, and Firmino takes the mark just inside defensive 50. He's got short options here in Nash and Green. Decides to go long right in front of the commentary box, looking for Murdoch. It goes over his head, and the umpire seen her pushing the back, and Harvey Brunswick would take the relieving kick through Jordan Bajetta. He drives the ball down there looking. Is it full Humphries? No, it wasn't Humphries. It was Pridmore. Comes back over there to Tartaglia. He hits Murdoch. Murdoch for the Dunsborough Sharks. Comes through, tries to get a handle on it. Comes back out there to Green. Gets a short kick in there looking for the big fella in black. And the ball is rushed over the boundary line. About 2 kicks out from Harvey's goal.
Lateral May is in 20 for HBL.
The ball will be thrown in right in front of the commentary box here. 2 points to 1. Opening half of this first quarter. Goyder v Fenwick. Ball's thrown in. Goyder gets front position, gets the ball down. It comes over there to Matt Candy. Has a bounce through the middle of the ground and goes straight down the corridor, looking there for the big fella in Jones. He gets an average bounce. It comes over to Williams. That's a really good matchup. Could have been taken without the ball. And the umpire sees it that way. And Williams, the captain of the HBL Lions, will take the relieving kick right on 50. Defensive 50 for HBL.
Shout out to Ryan McIntyre too, Weaver. Thanks, mate.
Right across the other side of the oval and finds Templeton on centre wing. Another number 13. He looks inside and finds Anderson. He's been prominent early. Anderson goes wide there, looking for the big fella in J Rout. He's well spoilt there by Dunsborough. The ball comes over, tries to get a kick on it. Was Cameron Shaw and misses the ball completely.
Probably
comes
needed
back
a bend.
to Crichton. He drives the ball there, looking for, was it your man that you just gave me? But Green comes over for the spoil.
Lateral May, was it?
Lateral May. Shot on goal there by HBL, and the ball's gone out of bounds.
Lateral May, yes, is number 20. Thanks to Ryan McIntyre. So, not a lot happening scoreboard-wise, a lot happening play-wise. Both sides putting a fair bit into it, but just can't get results on the board as Dunsborough will bring it back in to Darcy Hume.
So Hume, he's got short one there. He goes straight up the middle of the ground and finds Green. He's been
very good early, hasn't he?
He's got someone wide here in Firmino. Still out, just outside defensive 50 as Firmino brings the ball back inside and finds Hume. Handball short, got Green short, goes back to Firmino. Firmino drives the ball long there. Looking for Jones, he comes over the top. Great front and square. Geez, not
That's
much
a pretty
fire
good
there.
tackle through Bunbury Mower service tackle of the game.
As Ward lays a beautiful tackle, not much opportunity there for
Off the
Dunsborough.
Harvey Norman interchange bench, there was a flood of players come on. Oh, up he goes right in front of us, Weaver.
Here's our man in John Manuel. He's got the ball on its string at the moment. Breaks a tackle, puts the ball down there looking for Humphreys, but in front of play there was our man, is it
Lateral
McIntyre?
May.
Lateral May. Lateral May gets a handball over, comes back. Dunsborough do really well there. Drives the ball out looking for Fimino. He's outnumbered. Over the top comes John Ward. Kynan Pridmore drives the ball down. Dunsborough have the numbers here. Comes over to Humphreys. The umpire's seen a free kick. And
Eardley will get the kick for Dunsborough. And a bit of a touch behind the ears.
So Luton Early will take the relieving free kick. Still inside defensive 50.
And the lights are on, Weaver.
The lights are on. It might help me a little bit here, Craney. But Early. It's been really
Pronunciation's been second to none, though, mate.
Early will take the relieving
Just got a text
free
from Mrs. Newman, said you're doing a superb job.
Oh, I told him not to have the radio on. He's got Green short if he wants him. He goes longer than that, looking for Black. He's a good size too. The ball goes over in the hands of Murdoch and then out of bounds, rushed over the boundary line by Murdoch and Fraser Ward for HBL, and the ball will be thrown in. Still 2 kicks from Harvey Brunswick's goal. No goals scored in the first 3 quarters of this first quarter. 15 minutes in. Thrown in. Black v Fenwick. Black has front position. It comes over there to Anderson, who's been good early, and the umpire sees that he didn't have the ball, and Anderson will take the relieving free kick. Right on centre wing is Anderson. He's got players inside if he wants them. Decides to play on now. Goes long over Ward's head, and it's marked by Luke Bennett for HBL. He goes inside. It's a good lead. That's a good lead. Probably should have done better there. Was it Parfitt? Comes there to Anderson. Could have been tackled without it. The ball's tied up. About 1.5 kicks from Harvey's goal. And still no goal scored. Pressure's really solid from both teams so far. Defensive units are working really hard. It's a Black v Fenwick. Fenwick gets in front and wins the ruck knockdown. It goes towards Ward. And it's well tackled there by Holman. Is tied up by Harvey Brunswick, and the ball will be thrown up once again. 2 kicks from goal. As it's Fraser Ward takes the ruck knock against Black. Comes out there to Bennett. Gets around his opponent. Does a beautiful spin. Drives the ball long. Looking for Humphreys. Has got a couple of metres on his opponent, but in front. Probably could have been paid the mark. Umpire's seen a free kick.
Gee, I tell you what, that Dunsborough player was a little bit unlucky there, I think.
I think it's Parfitt who'll have the kick
Just
on
a quick
goal.
around the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil. Out at Donnybrook, 2 straight 12. Lead Kerry Park, the 1 goal 6.
So Parfitt will have a deliberate shot on goal from about 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle. We're right behind this one, Craney. Good opportunity to get the first goal of the game. It was good a couple of weeks ago against Colliers. In comes Jacoby Parfitt. Deliberate shot on goal. The ball comes back beautifully. Beautifully done by Parfitt. And on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, HBL get the first goal of the game and go to 1 goal, 1-7 to the Dunsborough Sharks, the 2 points.
Well, so far, Weaver, that's our WA Carver Supermarket goal of the day, because that is the only one, and we're well into this first quarter. Both sides working pretty hard, pushing it from around the corner. Just that crucial mistakes going into the forward 50. And Dunsborough a little bit unlucky not to pick up that mark. He didn't quite have it and pulled it to ground. Parfitt made no mistake about that. Sat it up nicely, just swung it in like a Terry Alderman in-swinger Weaver, and a beautifully kicked.
And Terry Alderman was
Or was that an outswinger?
No, it was a great shot at goal there by Parfitt. Ball's back in the middle. And it's Gorda up against, is it Fraser Ward? Dunsborough win the ball out through Moore, drive the ball long. Comes across the front there. Was it Green? The umpire sees that it's high. It's Reynolds it is for Dunsborough, and he'll put the ball into the teeth of goal.
He did well, Reynolds there, stood in the front of oncoming traffic.
I thought it was Reynolds' free kick, but he's been paid for the fend-off.
No, Bryce.
Ball's brought across the side of the ground, and Sulos takes the mark. Plays on straight away. The ball's going to come down right in front of the commentary box, but it goes over his teammate's head, and Green, who's been good early, takes a relieving free kick. Goes across there to Hume. He gets a handball on straight away to Ash. He's been good. Oh, he's run down. Beautiful run down there by Jacoby Parfitt, the goal kicker for the game. Gets the ball on straight away. Comes back over there to Ben Scott. He's outnumbered. His teammate didn't come in to help. The umpire says he didn't have prior opportunity, and the ball will be thrown up about 40 metres out from Harvey Brunswick's goal.
It's been real workmanlike quarter from both these sides. Both these sides just finding that actual run on. He's been good more early.
Moore brings the ball across this side of the ground, right in front of the commentary box, and Holman takes the mark. Plays on straight away, runs himself into trouble, but he's got support there in Darcy Hume, but the umpire doesn't see that way as Parfitt gets a handball on straight away to Rout. Rout has a deliberate shot on goal from the pocket, and Jay Rout puts 2 in a row through for the Harvey Brunswick Lions. Superb tackle there by Parfitt. Plays on straight away to Rout, and Rout makes no mistake from the boundary line from 30 metres out and puts the second goal through for the Lions on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. 2 goals, 1-13, Harvey Brunswick to the Dunsborough Sharks, just the 2 points.
That puts a smile on any coach's face when your forwards are prepared to work hard like that. He just watched the hips of the Dunsborough player, did Parfitt, created the opportunity, then fed it off to Rout, who made no mistake in the corner. That was good unselfish play, but you like to see the hard work.
Yes, and as a small forward, that was superb work by Parfitt. Last goal kicker, the first goal kicker for the game.
And he would have been excused for having a shot then, but he's seen the opportunity, so well played.
Ball back in the middle. Goyder v. Ward. Goyder wins the ball down. It comes over there to Ash. He's been good early. Gets a handball out to Coleman. He just drives the ball long. Comes off the boot. I don't know if he planned that, but the ball's back out again there to Luke Bennett. He's been good early. Tries to get a short little sneaky pass. Is it Parfitt? But he's well tackled there by Dunsborough in Reynolds. The ball's come back out to Harvey Brunswick, and that's John Manuel. Manuel puts the ball into the centre of the ground, looking for Humphreys, goes over his head, but he's first back there. He's going to have another snap on his left foot, and it goes across the face of goal and through for a minor score.
Dunsborough got to be a little bit careful here because HBL are starting to pepper, and this is where it got away from them against South. But they've been better than that this first quarter. They deserve a little bit more than just the 2 points on the board.
And as you said, Croney, you've got to make the most of those opportunities. As the ball's brought through the middle of the ground there, looking for Reynolds. It goes over his head, comes back to Reynolds, over to Billy Boucher. He's had a bit of a hairdo during the week. It comes to Crichton. He gets a handball to no one in particular, as Humphreys was just sitting on his haunches. But his first man there, he's been good early for a big fella. Just puts the ball onto his boot. It goes high in the air, looking for Rout. And Rout takes a terrific mark. Terrific mark by Rout. That was just an up and under kick there from Humphreys. I don't think it was meant to go there, but Rout is proving a handful early. The last goal kicker of the game, Jay Rout.
I'm going to put him down there too for a CPA Outdoors Mark of the Day contender because that ball was swirling up in the air and he had to position himself nicely. He had a fair bit of attention from Jake Green, who's been good early for Dunsborough, but it's a great mark.
Rout crosses 50. Ball's going to land short. Big Goyder comes across the pack and misses it completely. And the mark is taken there by John Manuel, and he'll have a shot on goal from about 10 metres out, basically directly in front, to put through HBL's third in a row and push this margin out to 18 points.
He also did that well. His body work was sensational, then just held the Dunsborough defenders out, plus the big ruckman. So he did very well, did Manuel.
In comes Manuel, 10 metres out, straight over the umpire's hat. And in the blink of an eye, in the last couple of minutes, from going from 1 point down, the Harvey Brunswick Lions go to 20 points up on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. 3 goals, 2-20 to the Dunsborough Sharks, 2 points.
Yeah, you're right there, Weaver. It has been a blink of an eye because Dunsborough have been pretty good early. And they've had a lot of the footy they just can't convert when they get passed into their forward 50. And on the flip side of that, HBL are just starting to wind up a little bit. And that was a great grab down forward line by Manuel. His body work was sensational and the finish was very good. 3 goals to zip. Dunsborough need to find something.
I'm not sure how it got past Goyder's hands. He's got long levers, hasn't he? But Manuel took the mark and made no mistake from 10 metres out. The ball back in the middle again. Goyder v. Ward. Goyder wins it. Just clean possession. Just puts the ball onto his boot. In front is Crichton. In front of there was of Vandergore, my man. The ball comes out. The umpire sees a free kick. And Harvey Brunswick will take the relieving free kick on the far side of the ground.
It is quarter time at Brunswick Oval. HBL 3 goals, 2-20. They lead Dunsborough 2 points, 2, and look, it was a quarter where HBL was starting to build. Probably the siren come at the right time for the Dunsborough Sharks. They can go in and regroup, and we'll be back after the break for quarter number 2.
But, up until about time on in that first quarter, it was 2 points to 1 point, and all of a sudden, towards the end of that quarter, Harvey Brunswick-Leschenott kicked 3 goals in a row. Parfitt, great tackle and finish, and then he took another mark and then played on to Rowder, kicked a terrific goal as well, and then Manuel took a superb mark 10 metres out. And within, the space of 2 or 3 minutes, they pushed this margin out to 18 points at quarter time. So
I got the feeling the siren went at the right time too for Dunsborough. So let's see what Chase Creddy and the Dunsborough Sharks can produce in the second quarter, which is just about to start as the umpire holds the ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit and Nigel Reeves.
Ball's thrown up in the middle of the ground. Goyder wins the ruck knock down. Once again, it comes over to Moore. He tries to get a handball out there to, was it Matt Candy? Ball's thrown on the boot. Comes over there to Ward. Play on advantage. The ball's kissed, thrown onto his boot. Comes down there to Rout, one of the goal kickers in the first quarter. But it's Green, who's been terrific in this game so far. Comes out towards his skipper in Patterson, and he gets a beautiful bounce. Tries to chip the ball back over to Green. Bounces past him. Bounces past Sulos. It's Anderson. Nippy on his feet, but he's well wrapped up, and the umpire will come and throw the ball up about 2 kicks away from Harvey Brunswick-Leschenott.
Must be a nightmare for the opposition players when Anderson grabs it, because he just takes off.
Goyder wins the ruck knock down over to Moore. He's been terrific so far. Gets the ball out to Candy. Ball's thrown on the boot, and it finds Moore once again. So Moore injecting himself into the game, brings the ball into the middle and finds Ash. Ash comes through the middle. Just misses his target, comes over to Patterson. They got the numbers here. Have Dunsborough, comes back to Ash. He goes on the far side of the ground and finds Hume. Plays on once again, comes over to Green. Green gets the ball down, looks there for Billy Jones, comes back to Green. Tries to get the bounce back up. It's Hume it was, but he just couldn't get the bounce. We can see what Dunsborough are trying to do here, play on at all costs.
It's just that little bit of finesse at the wrong time goes a bit array for Dunsborough. They work the ball very well down there. It's just that little bit of fumble at the wrong time.
Ball's about 20 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Throw up, and the umpire will come back in once again, basically in the same position. That's big Billy Jones doing the ruck work down forward. He tries to win the ball out. Once again, the ball's tied up, and the umpire will come in and throw it up about 30 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Looking for their first goal of the game here early on in the second quarter. They're in a strong position here. The ball's won down there by Jones. The ball comes out. Not 15, the umpire says, and Moore comes in and ties up. Harvey Brunswick.
Dunsborough need to work very hard to lock this ball in. They need a result from this inside 50.
And that was Fanugan that was tackled there by Moore. Ball's one out. Comes
Nigel Reeves' favourite player.
To Templeton. He gets a kick out, but all he's done is find the captain in Patterson for Dunsborough, and he's right on 50. Looking around, doesn't know if he's got the leg here. I'm not sure if he has. He tries to go in short there to Green, but it goes over his head. It was Reynolds, and Anderson takes the mark. Well, Anderson there had Manuel, one of the goal kickers in the first quarter. He goes long, looking there for Bennett, who was terrific in that
straight
first
through
quarter.
the legs.
Goes through his legs. Nutmeg comes over there to Luton Erdley. It's a tough name to say as well. Over there to Black, who was terrific in the first quarter, did a lot of ruck work, comes back to Anderson. He tries to get a handball out. The ball's still in play. The umpire said, not sure about that. Over to Rout, could have been taken high.
Well, a bit going on in there, I can tell you that.
Solid tackle there as Anderson comes in to help Rout out. Captain Patterson turning up the heat.
He's as tough as nails too as Patterson.
It's Goyder versus Fenwick. I think Fenwick was there. I couldn't quite see him over the height of Goyder. The ball comes out there to Templeton. Dunsborough working hard here in this second quarter, early parts. The ball comes in and Reynolds is tied up, and the ball will be thrown up about 40 metres out from
Which is what you want
goal.
from Dunsborough. You want your forwards to be working above time to try and keep this ball in and get the result.
Black makes front position, wins the ball down, but it comes over to Anderson. He's had a bounce, has one bounce, gets a handball over to Williams, just misses his target, but he gets a good bounce. Billy Jones comes in with support, back to Anderson, back over there to William Bryers. Bryers has a bounce on the far side of the ground, gets a handball over, comes inside there looking for and finding his teammate there in Pridmore. I think it's Ward on the far side of the ground. He's got Anderson in the middle. He's covered now. He's going to go down the far side of the ground there. Dunsborough have the numbers there in Goyder. It's nearly marked there by Goyder, was it? Ball comes over there to Luton Eardley, who's been prominent early. Over to Nash, who's also been good early parts of this second quarter. I think it's Jones could have taken the mark. And he'll have a shot on goal. I don't think he's got the leg from there. It's about 55 metres out.
It was a good strong mark in the pack, though. And that's what they need, a bit of strength down there.
So they've upped the physical pressure here, has Dunsborough. Ball comes inside, comes back over to Crichton. He's a rocker Gibraltar down there in the back line. He gets a handball over to Ward, back to Crichton. He goes through the middle of the ground. Looking there for, was it May? But it goes over his head. And it's found Anderson. He drives the ball long, looking for Humphries. One out there with his direct opponent.
Oh,
he takes a terrific mark.
Put that one down for a CPR door mark of the day. One-hander from Humphries. Weaver, that was very handy in a terrific transition of play. We've seen Dunsborough have all the footy in their first half, and it just swung out very quickly around the outer side, and that was a magnificent mark by Humphries.
Good give and go there by Crichton. The first time they've been inside their forward 50. The HBL Lions, a deliberate shot on goal here from Jared Humphries. 30 metres out, directly in front. Crosses now, deliberate shot on goal. Beautiful looking kick. Beautiful looking kick from Humphries as he puts the first through in the second quarter for the HBL Lions. And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard, they go to 4-26. And Dunsborough still without a goal, just as 2 points.
Well, we talked about Terry Alderman. Let's talk about, who should we talk about? Mark Waugh in the slips, I reckon. That one was for a Humphries, one-hander. And I like the way he rolled over and peeled it up to the umpire to show him, hey, I took that one, umpy. And it was a magnificent finish off. And that's what we were talking about before. Dunsborough had all the footy in the first probably 5 minutes. HBL through Crichton, as you said, Weaver. Experienced head, and they were just transitioned in the blink of an eye.
And his direct opponent in Coleman didn't do anything wrong there. Humphries was just too strong.
Nothing
and too
he could have
clever.
done.
So he's been prominent early. Humphries had a few snaps on goal, but he moves really well for a big fella. So great effort there by HBL. It's Dunsborough, as you said, Crane.
Well, if you look at the stats, Dunsborough have had a fair bit of the footy. They just haven't been able to put that onto the scoreboard.
The ball back in the middle of the ground. Goyder v Fenwick. No one wins the ball down cleanly. It comes over there to Murdoch. He gets a handball out to Fimino, and Fimino comes out to Ash, who's been good in this game. Ash goes directly in front of the score. It's a beautiful looking kick. And he finds my man in Vandergore. Plays on straight away. The ball just drops in front of the person.
There is the kick that's hurting him, isn't it? Or, mind you, the HBL defensive unit are being very well drilled.
So looking there for Ward for Dunsborough. It goes over his head. It's going to come down there in the direction of Bennett.
That's a terrific mark.
And Bennett takes a terrific mark. He's been good as well. Plays on straight away to Soulos. Gets the ball back to Bennett. Run himself into trouble. But he's evasive still. Gets around him easily. Ooh, and he should have taken the mark there. Was that John Manuel?
He moves well, Luke Bennett. He's had a couple of nice flies. Thanks to SKG too. Get your scans done at SKG. And MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is there.
Manuel will be disappointed with that. Lace out, but the ball goes out of bounds. It's 2 kicks away from Harvey Brunswick's goal. The ball's thrown in. Black wins the ball down. It comes over there in the direction of Anderson. And the ball's tied up and will be thrown up once again. Moved Murdoch into the middle of the ground. He was good in that first quarter. Black goes over the top, wins the ball down quite easily in the direction of Holman, but it comes over to Soulos. He just puts the ball on the boot, looking there for my man in Boucher. It goes over his head in the direction of Humphries. Outnumbered here. In comes support as May. May has a snap on goal.
Wow.
And lateral May has put through another goal for the HBL Lions. 2 in a row, early stages of this second quarter. 5 goals to 32 to the Dunsborough Sharks. 2 points on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard.
It was a pick-up and ball handling there, Latrell May did. He just handled that superbly. And that's what happens when you one grab it, Weaver, and that's something Dunsborough are struggling to do in their forward line, and that was absolutely superb. We're going to give him a chance to go into the bucket for the CWA Carpet Supermarket goal of the day. We're looking for a mark of the day too, and the tackle of the day thanks to Bunbury Mower Service, and of course mark of the day thanks to CPR Outdoors.
We got 2.5 quarters to sort that out, Croney. please.
I've got a lot of notes written down here, Weaver. It'll be up to you at the end of the game.
It's Black versus Ward in the middle of the ground. Black goes for full possession of the ball. Comes back to him. He gets a handball out in the direction of Nash. Nash puts the ball down there looking for, was it Ward? But in front, the relieving mark is taken by Dixon. He's been good. Dixon goes on the far side of the ground and finds Crichton.
That whole defensive unit by HBL has been outstanding, led by this man, Jesse Crichton.
Crichton gets a handball on over to Williams.
He's a bit like the general down there, isn't he? You can see him shouting and pointing.
I think this is our debutant in Cruz McKay. He's got the ball on the far side of the ground. It's a good-looking kick. Goes over the top. Emmanuel once again. He's missed a couple of marks in a row over to Nash, but he's well tackled. Umpire lets it play on here on the far side of the ground. 2 kicks out from Harvey Brunswick's goal. And now he says, I'll come and ball this up. It's a really good link-up of play from the back line, and Crichton's been a big part of that. The ball's one down there, comes over towards, is it Holman, but he's well tackled. Still 2 kicks away from Harvey Brunswick's goal. And the umpire once again come in
as
and
a
throw it
coach,
up.
having someone of his calibre in that back line who can sort of just keep him and Williams keep everything under control.
He's just a cool head, isn't he? He doesn't panic. He's played at the top level, so he's been sensational so far early parts of this game as the ball will be thrown in. Still 2 kicks away from HBL's goal. It's Ward versus Black. Black wins the ball down easily, comes over there towards Fimino. Pressure's just warmed up a little bit, hasn't it? HBL have responded to the early pressure in this quarter from Dunsborough.
Well, Dunsborough just need to get that score on the board just for their own confidence. They're working hard enough. They're getting the ball inside 50, but it's just coming out of their defence, their forward line too quick.
Black wins that ball out cleanly. It comes over there to Anderson. He drives the ball in long. Is it going to make Humphreys? But no, in front, the relieving mark is taken there by Holman. He comes on the far side of the ground, and it's taken there by Ben Scott.
And you're right, are you, Weaver?
I'm good, mate.
Because there's a full moon out. Are we all good?
I'm good. I'm good. As Green's got the kick just out to defensive 50, comes in front there looking for Black, goes over his head, comes over to Crichton, gets some sort of kick down on his left boot. The umpire's going to come in here and throw the ball up directly in front of the commentary box as Kynan Pridmore picks himself up off the ground, and Black is doing a ton of work as a ruckman and on the ground. Rucking now against Ward, wins the ball down in the direction of Moore, and the ball goes over the boundary line. Centre wing. 5 goals to 32, the HBL Lions on the Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard to Dunsborough without a goal so far, just the 2 points.
You're getting on towards half time, and that's just the 2 points on the board. Not the reward for effort you would have liked.
Ball's thrown in. Black v Ward. Black wins the ball down in the direction of Moore. It comes over to Ward for HBL. Ball comes back out again to my man in Templeton. He puts the ball down looking there for Parfitt, but it goes over his head and Nash takes the mark.
He's starting to work his way into it, Nash.
Comes into the centre of the ground and finds his skipper in Patterson. He drives the ball long there, looking for the big fella in Jones. Works his way around his direct opponent, but HBL have the numbers in Dixon as he comes across the front of the pack and spoils the ball. Far side of the ground now, it's over there to Pridmore. Tries to get around his opponent, but his opponent says not this time as the ball's won. Tries to have a bounce there by Dunsborough. They play on straight away. Comes back to Moore. He's going to drive the ball into the centre of the ground there, looking for, is it Harris Craig? The umpire comes in and he's seen a free kick. The chopping of the arms. And Harris Craig is going to have a shot on goal for Dunsborough for the first goal of the game. 15 metres out, basically top of the goal square, directly in front, and he shouldn't make any mistake from here. Hope I haven't put the mocker on him. It's Harris Craig, deliberate shot on goal, doesn't waste any time. Makes the umpire work, and I have put the mocker on him.
You've stitched him up, Weaver.
Oh, I certainly have. They haven't had I've had a good look at goal early on in the game with Billy Jones up 4, but that was probably more direct. Only 15 metres out. Harris Craig has pushed that across the face of the goal for a minor score. What a let-off for HBL.
And the silly part of it, if they had got that goal, they come within 4 goals, which is not a lot in modern-day footy.
As the captain in Xavier Williams looks
That's
to bring
a
the
beautiful
ball back
kick in.
Maybe the lights, is it, as it goes over Bennett. Bennett missed the mark that he should have taken.
He almost threw that
Dunsborough
out
have the
too.
numbers here. Comes over to Moore. They still have the numbers, but Bennett comes back in and ties the ball up, and the umpire will throw it up about 2 kicks away from Dunsborough's goal. Real let-off there for HBL. As in comes Goyder, wins the ball down over Ward, wins it there to Nash. And once again, the umpire will come in and throw the ball
I think if I was Big Bull Jones at half-time, I'd be having a word to the midfielders. They're dodging, weaving and getting around there. He needs it coming in quicker to his advantage.
As the ball's won out there by Tom Ward, he just tucks the ball onto his boot, comes over to Boucher,
clever.
who's been quiet. Over there to Anderson. He's had a bounce. He might have another. He could have another. And he has. He's had 3 bounces on the far wing. Comes a handball there to Bennett. Bennett gets a nice chip over and find, is it Jai Rout? Jai Rout, 50 metres out from goal. Looks like he's got the leg. Looks like he's not going to pass anyway. He's going to kick from right on 50.
He had Billy Boucher sitting in the pocket there for a little bit too, waiting.
I think it's that hair. It's putting him off. Billy's had a bit of a rinse. And Jai Rout's going to have a deliberate shot on goal. He's just going to cross 50, kick from about 48 metres out. In he comes now, crosses 50. Good-looking shot on goal. Has it got the wheels? And it has.
And why would you worry about passing it off when you can do that, Weaver?
They had the big fella there, Dunsborough. They had Goyder on the goal square. It just had enough legs to get over the line.
Jesse Crichton's come off through the Harvey Norman interchange bench for a well-earned spell. He's been very good. That was a terrific kick. He did have Boucher in the pocket, but I'm a firm believer, Weaver, if you think you can kick that goal, you have a crack at it, and that's exactly what he did.
And Jay Rout, he was a firm believer, all right. He knew he had the leg. Harvey Norman Electrical, Bunbury scoreboard, HBL line, 6 goals to 38. Dunsborough Sharks just 3 points with a real let-off there from Harris Craig.
Well, it is when it goes like that, when you miss one directly in front and then it goes down the other end and the opposition dobs it. So instead of, it's almost a 12-point turnaround, isn't it?
Yes, they just done it well there. And Rout, he just found himself in space, knew he had the distance, didn't play on, knew he could finish the job, and he did. Back in the middle of the ground now as Bennett's done all his hard work. Now he's in the ruck against Goyder, and he wins the ruck knock over Goyder, giving away about the same amount of centimetres as his teammate in Fenwick.
He's got a fair leap on him, though. We've seen that just in front of us when he went for a mark.
He wins the ball down once again. It comes over there to Murdoch. Wheels around, goes onto his left boot there, looking for Reynolds. Reynolds has got a bit of space, but he's well hassled out there by Bryers of Harvey Brunswick. Gets the ball, wins the ball easily, looking down there, but across the front comes Green. Green gets a ball down, but it comes over there to, is it Moore? Moore tries to win the ball, but Harvey Brunswick win the ball back. It comes over to Bennett. Bennett looks there for Humphreys. It's a good-looking kick. Probably should have done better there. Humphreys, he's well met there by Coleman. Comes back over to Manuel. Manuel has a snap on goal. And it's just gone through for a minor score, so from one end to the other.
Gee, I tell you, all the HBL coaching bench right in front of us leaned over. I don't know whether that would have helped Weaver, but it didn't. And true, but that was lightning quick, wasn't it, HBL?
One end of the ground, and Bryce was terrific on the outer wing there in defence, won the ball easily, and all of a sudden they were having a shot on goal. I think the only one on the coach's bench was Bajetta, who didn't get too excited. He's obviously...
Oh, no, he definitely moved, mate. Don't worry about that.
He moved.
He got a bit of a weave, did.
As the ball's brought back in, as Jones looks like he's moved into the ruck. He's looking there for Goyder. He's hassled out there by Bennett. And the umpire sees a free kick. Murdoch, who's been good early, goes down the line and finds Moore. Plays on straight away to Black. Black, who's been good, looking there for Harris Craig. But in front is William Bryce, who takes the relieving mark.
Gee, they've been good, that HBL defence.
Switches play and goes over to his captain in Xavier Williams. Goes down the middle of the ground and finds Anderson, who's been terrific so far in this game. He's got Parford on this far side of the ground, right in front of the commentary box. And Parford takes the mark, centre wing. Looks down and plays on straight up. Oh, nearly a terrific mark there by Sulis. Could have hurt himself. Patterson mops up and looks down there, and Craig's got a couple of metres on his direct opponent in Williams. But look at all the numbers that Harvey Brunswick have back here. He's going to have to wait for his teammates to run here. They have no one. He's got short options in the middle of the ground, and he's going to find Firmino. Still 2 kicks from goal. Craig could run on here and get the ball back if he wants to. Firmino demanding a lead. He's got Moore short if he wants him, and he goes that way and finds Simon Moore just outside 50. He plays on. Could have got tackled high. Manages to get the ball onto his boot. Looking there for Craig. But Williams comes in and spoils the ball out of bounds about 30 metres out from goal.
Absolutely miserly, the HBL defensive unit.
Geez, they had some numbers back there.
That's all due to hard work, hard running.
The ball will be thrown in here about 25, 30 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Still searching for their first goal of the game. Ball's thrown in. Run down by the big fella in Jones. Could have been tackled high there. Was Dash Bridgham. Umpire's seen a free kick here.
Ooh. Surely.
The free kick is going to go to, is it Harris Craig? It's going to Paris Murdoch. So Murdoch will have a shot on goal from about 35 metres out. Not sure what that was for. Maybe a relay free kick.
Slung him after the ball left, apparently.
Not wasting any time here is Murdoch. Deliberate shot on goal. Slinky left footer. Has a shot on goal. Makes the umpire work once again. He might have done enough.
I reckon he has.
And Murdoch gets Dunsborough Sharks' first goal of the game on the board from a relay free kick.
And a big breath of relief there, I reckon, from the Dunsborough guys. They've been working pretty hard, Weaver. They deserved to get one on the board. Their delivery into the forward line hasn't been good. That'll be something Dunsborough coach Chase Creedy has a bit of a chat about them at half-time. You need to go in with the percentages towards your forwards.
I've definitely had a lot more of the ball in the second quarter. Harvey Norman Electrical Bunbury scoreboard. HBL 6 goals, 2-38. 29-point leaders over the Dunsborough Sharks. 1 goal, 3-9.
Thanks to SKG to get your scans done at SKG. And MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is there. We thank you.
Oh,
that's a good tap.
He wins the ball down in the direction of Moore. Moore could have been taken high in the middle of the ground. Play on advantage. Paris Murdoch, the first goal kicker for Dunsborough, tries to get the ball out there to Black. It just misses the target. He's well hassled there by Dixon.
Well, that's what the big fella did well there. He went up and went whack. He's got a height advantage. Get used to it and more run onto it for Dunsborough.
So a great centre clearance there by Dunsborough. Pushes into about 35 metres out from goal. The umpire throws it up. Caden Black wins the ball out. Comes over there towards Moore. He's been terrific in this second quarter. Green tries to bust his way through. Could have been done for holding the ball that comes over to Fimino. He gets the ball onto his boot. And the ball is out of bounds. And the relieving free kick will be taken by HBL skipper in Xavier Williams. So it's amazing what a goal does to a team. They've got their tails up now.
It does. You've got to have that bit of confidence. You can work hard all the time, and they have been. They just didn't get reward. But a goal, get another one before half-time, you're back in the game of footy.
As Williams brings the ball in and finds Pridmore. He goes across the far side of the ground there. It's a great kick in amongst a heap of Dunsborough players, and I think he's found, help me out here, Emmanuel. Let's go with that. Goes down that side of the ground there looking for Bennett. Oh, Bennett goes over the top, could have hurt himself.
Where's Mrs. Newman when you need her, Weaver?
Oh, she'll be here. She'll be here.
They do a magnificent job in that canteen at HBL.
Bennett recovers from that attempted mark, goes there looking for Anderson. But Dunsborough have the numbers. They're going to come on this side of the ground looking for my man in Vandergore and find him on centre wing. He's got players short if he needs them, and he finds them. And it's Moore, beautiful user of the ball, looks down, looking for Black. He could have been taken high, and the umpire sees it that way. Still 2 kicks from goal. As Caden Black, he's been terrific. He's got Moore behind him for a short one. Harvey Brunswick have the numbers back. He just decides to go long. Looking there for Harris Craig. Couldn't take the mark, and the ball's quite hot in there. The umpire lets it go as Williams picks the ball up, and the umpire will come and throw it up about 35 metres out from Dunsborough's goal.
I must say I'm pretty impressed with these lights, Weaver. They've taken effect very, very quickly.
As Goyder takes full possession of the ball, it comes down to his teammate in Bridgham, Dash Bridgham. There's another great name, isn't it? As he's well tackled by Crichton. And the ball goes out of bounds about 30 metres out from Dunsborough's goal.
Nice little HBL contingent in that pocket too. Plenty of advice.
Plenty of advice for Dunsborough, no doubt. But Dunsborough have turned the heat up a little bit here. They
just need to get a bit of reward, Weaver.
So another goal here, and all of a sudden, back-to-back goals. This gives them a sniff as Goyder gets front position over Fenwick, wins the ball down Comes over there to Dixon. He tries to get a kick on it. Comes over to Patterson. Patterson has a snap on goal. Goes past Jones and Williams. Williams has help there in Bennett. And the ball is run over the boundary line.
You've got to love the way Patterson goes about his footy.
He's tough.
He's like a bull, isn't he?
He's tough. Ball will be thrown in right on the point post. 15 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Fenwick v. Goyder. Goyder gets the ball over the back. Looking for one of his on-ballers in Morash to take the ball. But the ball's tied up about 25 metres out. Directly in front of Dunsborough's goal. They've got all the play in the last couple of minutes. They need another one here. Goyder v. Fenwick. Goyder wins the ball directly down at the feet of Fenwick. And it comes back to him, and the umpire once again will come in and throw the ball up in the exact same position. Well, they've got the numbers here. Goyder goes up looking for more. Once again, the ball's tied up. He's looking for more.
He wants more.
He's a terrific player. Same position again. The umpire's earning his keep here. Goyder gets front position but wins it straight over there. And it's Sebastian Dixon who's been terrific as a defender for HBL. And once again, the ball will be thrown up about 25 minutes out for goal. Fenwick just trying to work it out as Goyder wins the ball down. Probably could have taken full possession. Comes over there to Dixon, and once again,
I reckon there's a...
umpire's seen a free kick here.
I think he got sick of throwing it up and down, Weaver.
Kynan Pridmore to take the relieving free kick, goes on the far side of the ground, but the ball lands short. And Patterson, who's been terrific, leading from the front in this second quarter, takes the mark. He'll drive the ball inside 50 once again. He's going to look for Black. Black's got the front position. He well spoils the ball as a forward does.
That's a terrific tackle too.
Comes
by
to
Bajetta.
Holman. Comes to Holman, and Jordan Bajetta ties him up. Right on forward 50 for Dunsborough as Goyder wins the ball down there. Looking for Candy. Candy wins the ball back. Comes over there to Patterson. Murdoch's first on the scene. Anderson tries to get the kick away. Goes to Manuel, who's been good in this game so far. In the middle of the ground, and in comes Boucher and puts a great tackle on Ben Scott. Right in the middle of the ground, and the umpire once again will throw the ball
up. How you
going,
Weaver? This has turned into a bit of a scrimmage, hasn't it? The ball isn't going anywhere fast.
Black comes in. He's been terrific so far, but there's a nest of Harvey Brunswick players. Comes back to Black, but somehow the ball goes past Murdoch. They have the numbers here in Fenwick, who's been rucking all day. Pushes the ball out in the front of Bryers. Bryers, who's been terrific down back, gets the ball to answer, but he's well tackled.
That's a brilliant tackle.
And the umpire once again will throw the ball up. Right on defensive 50 for HBL.
He's got the best stats so far, the umpire, Weaver.
Absolutely. Goyder takes clean possession, gets the ball over to Fimino. He chucks the ball onto his boot, but the ball's cut off there by Bajetta, and he'll take the relieving free kick. Has players short if he wants them. Decides to go long down the line. And it goes over the head. Was it Dixon? And Simon Moore takes the mark. Drives the ball in deep. Looking there, and the ball's going to land short. Bajetta could have been paid the mark, and the umpire sees it that way. Plays on straight away. Looking there for Parfitt. He's well met there by Kay Holman. Comes back to Parfitt. He's been terrific, a goal kicker in the first part of that quarter. And Dunsborough give away a silly free kick, and Parfitt will take the relieving free kick. He comes in the middle of the ground looking for Sulos, and Sulos takes the mark. 2 kicks out from Dunsborough's goal. Trying to slow the play down here, Sulos comes directly in front of the commentary box, goes over the head. Dunsborough have the numbers here. It's Black, who's been terrific. He gets the ball out to Green, chucks the ball onto his boot. Looking there for Vandergoor, goes over his head, back to Sulos. And there's the siren for half-time.
Well, I think that siren was needed by everyone, wasn't it? So everyone can go back and reset, because the last 10 minutes of that game tend to get bogged down a bit. The players were very scrappy. But it is half-time here at Brunswick Oval, and it sees HBL 6 goals, 2-38 to Dunsborough 1 goal, 3-9. We'll be back with the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill half-time chat. And HBL 6 goals, 3-39. They lead Dunsborough 1 goal, 3-9. This is the Hollow Beach Bar half-time chat. It was a different first half of footy. It didn't reach any great heights, to say the least, and that last 20 minutes was a bit of a slog. Dunsborough have had plenty of opportunities. They're just not taking in their forward line, as clean as HBL, and HBL's transition work is pretty good, Weaver.
Oh, it sure is. And Dunsborough come out in that second quarter and put a lot of physical pressure on. Had a real genuine shot on goal by young Harris Craig, and didn't make Harvey pay. And then all of a sudden, within the space of 2 or 3 minutes, once again in that second quarter, Humphreys took a terrific mark and got the first goal on the board in the second quarter, and three goals a quarter for Harvey Brunswick, and all of a sudden the margin is out to 30 points at half time. And yeah, for all the good work that Dunsborough did, they just let themselves down when it went back the other way, and Harvey made them pay.
Now the big question to you, mate. Giovanetti, Firewood, Bunbury, that's a way to fend off your cold with Giovanetti. Who's running hot?
Look, I think Pridmore down back, and Bryce probably. Bryce, for me, done some really good things on that outer side of the ground, and really set up a lot of play going basically from one end to the other within 2 or 3 kicks. So I think William Bryce is doing a terrific job from half back and just setting up most of the attacking moves that Harvey Brunswick have from that line of defence.
You heard it here first. That's who's running hot from Weaver for Giovanetti. Firewood, if you're a bit cold, go down and get some firewood for Giovanetti. This is the Hollow Beach Bar half-time chat. It'll be interesting to see where Dunsborough go from here. I think they've got enough of the footy. I think Chase Creedy, the Dunsborough coach, will be getting the midfield to actually put it into their forwards with a little bit more percentage. You've got to feel for the big forwards. They've got a lopped on the head, which is HBL defence have been absolutely magnificent. They're well drilled, so you've got to find a way to get in behind them. We're going to find out if they can do that right after the break. James.
Fanugan. Yes.
That's gone the interchange bench. I know he's your favourite. Umpire holds the ball aloft. 3-quarter time action. Third quarter underway. Nigel Reeves.
Goyder wins the ball down straight away. It comes over to Moore. He's well tackled. Could have been slung. The ball comes out there to Patterson, who's been terrific. Dunsborough have the numbers here through Fimino. Gets a handball out. Tries to get it back. Now Harvey Brunswick have the numbers. Ball's hot once again. And
John Bajetta would be absolute wrapped with the tackling pressure of HBL. There was no way they were letting Dunsborough out of that, and with clean hands out of the centre circle.
Just forward to the centre. Dunsborough's way is Goyder once again over Fenwick, wickets the ball down, but Harvey Brunswick get the kick towards Manuel. He's well tied up there by Green. And the umpire once again will come and throw the ball up. This time just forward to centre for the Harvey Brunswick Lions. Goyder, big man, won 90% of the ruck knocks, gets the ball down to Moore. He's been terrific. He gets a handball out to Ash. Ash gets a handball under pressure to no one in particular. Comes over to Anderson, drives the ball down long, but it goes over the top of the head of Harvey Brunswick, and Ben Scott takes a relieving mark.
You mentioned that word under pressure, and that's where Dunsborough are every time they get the footy.
Looking there for Goyder, but he's outnumbered 2-1. In comes Anderson once again. He's been the silky mover so far in this first half of footy. Looking there for Rout. He gets a handball. They have the numbers here. Harvey Brunswick drive the ball. Looking there for Humphreys at the top of the square. It's a great kick. And the big fella takes a terrific mark. Inches from the ground. And he'll have a shot on goal for the opening goal of the third quarter from about 40 metres out. Basically directly in front.
Gee, that was a good grab. I think he might have hurt his neck a bit too on that contest. He had to make an enormous amount of ground and dive full forward. I wonder how he goes in the slips, Weaver, because that was another great catch.
I reckon he'd be okay. It's Jared Humphreys, 40 metres out, deliberate shot on goal. Comes in now, the pink boots on. He's pushed that across the face of the goal, has he? Umpire does a little bit of work down there, but he said that's okay. And Humphreys for the HBL Lions gets the opening goal of the third quarter. LJ Hooker, Property Southwest scoreboard. They move to 7 goals, 3, 45 to the Dunsborough Sharks. 1 goal, 3, not 12, Craney 9. Opening stages of this third quarter, and Humphreys, after a terrific mark, puts it through from 40 metres out.
Well, that's his second chance at the CPU Outdoor Centre mark of the day. 2 absolute beauties. He had to make a lot of ground there. He was at full pace too, and it's always hard to dive forward to take the ball. He did that. He might have twisted himself a little bit, but he's still there, and a nice shot for goals. And that's what Dunsborough didn't need, Weaver. Did I say 12 at halftime?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
The balls were back in the middle of the ground.
One mistake in 10 years.
I know. Umpire sees a free kick there, no prior.
One mistake in 10 minutes.
And Goyder will take the relieving kick in the middle of the ground. He's going to go straight up the middle of the ground there. Is it looking for Jones? Ball goes over his head, comes over to Parford, comes out to Anderson. He has a bounce, could have another one. He will have another one. He's had 2 bounces on this wing right in front of the commentary box. Great looking kick, looking there for Fenwick. Misses the mark he should have taken, but he has the numbers. It's my man, is it? It's Manuel. He's run too far. I'm not sure about that. And Patterson will take the relieving kick just outside defensive 50 for Dunsborough. Goes in short and finds Firmino. Firmino's been terrific so far for Dunsborough, doing a lot of work in defensive part of the ground, as well as this bloke. And Simon Moore takes a kick, goes inside there looking for Ash. Ash plays on straight away. They're going short now. Comes over to Craig. Missed the goal he should have got in the first quarter. In the second quarter, looking there for Murdoch.
Nice Shepherd. Well played.
He has a shot on goal. No, he looks for a pass. And it's marked there by, is it Candy?
Well, that was the best passage of play Dunsborough put through for the day. They had a runner on the outside. I didn't quite see who done the shepherd out there, but it was a magnificent shepherd to free up their forward. Those are the little 1%ers that you need to do, create a bit of space, and it results in a shot for goal for Reynolds.
So Reynolds to hit the responding goal, 20 metres out, directly in front. Deliberate shot on goal. Beautiful kick there by Reynolds, finishing off a great passage of play for Dunsborough. And they put on their second goal for the game early on in this third quarter, goal for goal. 2 goals, 3, 15 to 7 goals, 3, 45 on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard.
And that's what you want to see, isn't it? A forward, a go back there and deliberate. He just went bang for a goal. It never, ever deviated off the shot. Great shot by Reynolds. Put himself in the right spot at the right time. As Dunsborough, well, that was the response they needed, wasn't it? They needed to put their foot down, and it was the best package of play they've put together. They were deliberate, and they made some space. And well done, the Sharks.
Very deliberate, very spot on with their disposal.
How did I get 12 out of that first one, mate?
That's okay, mate.
I must have read it somewhere else.
You're only one, I'm 101. That's not age either.
Oh, no, it was the scoreboard attendant, didn't have it right.
Yeah, that's right. Ball back in the middle of the ground. It's Fenwick v. Goyder. No one wins the ball cleanly. It comes over to Moore, who's been terrific. Just chucks the ball onto his boot. Nearly cut off there by Soulos. Comes over to Firmino. But it's met there by Darcy Hume. He drives the ball in forward. It beats everyone.
Oh.
Dunsborough got a beautiful bounce. Comes back there to Crichton. Crichton just lets his teammate go through. It's picked up there by Soulos. Back over to Anderson, and once again he has a bounce. He has 2 bounces. He could have a third bounce, and he does. Running down centre wing, goes across the far side of the ground where he's got numbers. It's a great mark there by, it's at Templeton. Templeton goes down and finds Rout on the far side of the ground, 50 metres out. Not sure if he's got the leg from there. Looking for an option here. He's going to put it at the teeth of goal, and he does just that. He's got the space. They have the numbers. Bennett goes up high. Manuel's
He's going to get one of them soon, Bennett.
Manuel comes out there to Boucher, who's been quiet today. Comes over there to Green. They're working hard here, Dunsborough, as the ball's tied up about 40 metres out from Harvey Brunswick's goal.
I'm just waiting for Bennett to take the CPR outdoor mark of the day, because he's had a couple of real good looks at it.
In comes Black, who was terrific. V. Soulos comes over to Patterson. He's been sensational today so far. Back over to Coleman. Tries to get the ball down. They come down the wing right in front of the commentary box. It goes over Craig's head. First back is Jordan Bajetta, and the ball goes out of bounds right on centre wing. Just about in front of the Harvey Brunswick's interchange bench.
This game's lifted a bit, Weaver. It got a bit stagnant in the second half of the second quarter, but definitely lifted start of this third. Made it a bit easier for you too, mate.
Yeah, I need that. It's Fenwick has front position. It's one down there by Black. It comes over to Simon Moore. He gets the ball down there looking for Jones. And Jones takes the mark. Still 2 kicks away from goal. Big Billy Jones, he just drives the ball in long.
That's a pretty good kick.
This one, is it Reynolds? No, it's Harris Craig. And the ball goes out of bounds. And will be thrown in right on the point post, or has the umpire seen a free kick here?
No, it's a free kick.
Could have been out on the full. And Noah Ash will have the shot on goal. Tight angle right on the boundary. He runs around now. The umpire says not this time. We'll go back and reset, which is probably a good thing, because I don't think that went through for the goals. So Noah Ash.
Well, he's had a practice now. He should be all the better for it.
New to the
He's
Dunsborough
worked
Sharks.
his
He's
game.
been good.
He's worked his way into the game, isn't it? Always tough just the first game in the Southwest Footy League, and he's done pretty well. He'll be doing
Noah
even
Ash.
better if he gets this one through.
Take 2. Right on the boundary. He's going to run around here, and he does that. Has another snapper goal, but it's well smothered there. It's by Dixon, who's been terrific. Comes back there to Finucane. Back over to Crichton. He switches play on the far side of the ground, puts his weight under pressure.
Gee.
Nelly mark of the day, contender there.
Someone is going to take one of these, Weaver.
But in comes the defence of Harvey. Ties the ball up, still inside defensive 50.
I got all up and about, and he come down without the footy.
He did everything bar take it. I think once he hit the ground, the ball popped out. Ball thrown up. Billy Jones wins the ball down there in front of Ward. Umpire lets the play go on. All of a sudden, I think it's Anderson once again. Tries to get around his opponent. And the umpire says you had Pryor. And Dunsborough will take the relieving free kick to bring the ball back into play. Probably just too much. Maybe a kicking a little bit out from goal. He's going to drive it to the teeth of goal here. And he does just that, top of the goal square. Dunsborough have the numbers there in Craig. He could have taken the mark, wasn't paid.
Gee,
but the ball's tied up about 30 metres out.
A miserly defence, that HBL unit, aren't they, Weaver? They just do everything to stop that ball, to move it out.
Billy Jones doing the ruck work here, gets front position, wins the ball down. But once again, the ball's tied up, basically in the same position. Noah Ash picks himself up off the ground. It was Kay Holman. I don't know what the ruckman were doing there. Comes over to Moore. The umpire's seen a free kick.
The big fella's going to get a shot at goal for Dunsborough. Weaver.
It's a big Billy Jones.
Big Billy Jones. He needs to put this one through to the big fella.
Doing some ruck work in front of goal. Been paid the free kick. He's a hulk of a man. 20 metres out, directly in front. Had a shot from here in the first quarter, miss. Let's see if he can make. And he does. Beautiful kick there by Jones. Back-to-back goals for the Dunsborough Sharks. And all of a sudden, they've got their tails up. Free kick paid 20 metres out from goal. And big Billy Jones makes no mistake. 3 goals, 3-21. The Dunsborough Sharks, 7 goals, 3-45. The HBL Lions on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard.
Yeah, they worked pretty hard for that, didn't they? The big fella needed to get one. He's had a tough night there, mainly due to the delivery he's been getting down through the ball coming to him. That time he did it all for himself as we watched the replay, and he just went bang straight through the middle, never in doubt. And I tell you what, as strange as it sounds, Weaver, there's not much in the game of footy.
We're back to 4 goals here, so just getting in front position, and you just put yourself in favour of the umpire if there's a free kick to be paid. The ball's back in the middle. It's Ward versus Black. No one wins the ruck knock clearly. It comes over to Paris Murdoch, one of the goal kickers in the first half. Parfitt there for HBL. Comes back to Ward. Could have been tackled high, and the umpire sees it that way. He's got players on this side of the ground. He wheels around there to Dixon. Looking there. Is it for Rout? Rout on the far side of the ground.
Played.
He's outnumbered. I think it was Ash. It comes over there to Fairclove. And the ball comes on the outer side of the ground. Over to Moore. Handball out to no one in particular. And it comes back there to Noah Ash, who's been pretty good in this third quarter.
He's definitely got the swing of things, as Ash.
Back to Moore once again. He's been terrific. It comes over to Black. He's going to have a shot on goal from 50 metres out. It's all about the bounce. It's all about the bounce. And it goes across the face of the goal, through for a minor score.
That could be a song there, Weaver. It's all about the bounce.
The bass, the bass. Oh, we're not singing. We're having enough trouble here as it is. They're just looking a lot better. Back-to-back goals for
Well, that was a
Dunsborough.
nice bit of movement, wasn't it? As you said, Simon Moore's been into everything.
Comes out there and Manuel takes the mark. Just outside defensive 50. He has Jay Rout down the side of the ground. It comes over to Boucher. He's got space, gets a nice bounce back, handballs over to Rout, looking down there for Humphreys. He's got a couple of metres on his direct opponent in Coleman. He has a snap on goal. It's going to be all about the bounce here. Parfitt's there. He's got a couple of metres on his direct opponent in Luton Yardley. The numbers come in here for Dunsborough. Now they have the numbers. But Parfitt comes back and ties the ball up about 15 metres out from HBL's goal.
I think that was Nash. He just sprinted probably 100 metres. He's seen the danger, and he just took off towards that defensive unit. So that was a great bit of hard running.
Ball's thrown up here. Black goes up again.
I'm going to give him the credit for it anyway, Weaver.
Comes up to Fenwick. Ball's still in dispute here. Umpire probably could come in and throw the ball up, and he does just that. About 15 metres out from HBL's goal. They moved the ball so quickly from one end to the other. The ball's thrown up. Black, who's been terrific, wins the ball down to no one in particular, but it's forced through for a minor score. And the umpire has seen a free kick here.
Oh, that's deliberate through the
behind.
points.
I don't know if I've ever seen that in country footy, but I've seen it tonight. So the kick on goal for HBL, just to break Dunsborough's little bit of a run.
That's what it was for, wasn't it? The fist,
I think it was.
Went straight through the points.
Fraser Wood.
I don't know what as a defender you're supposed to do in that situation.
Fraser Wood. Kick on goal. I think he's put it through. No, he's missed. It's just narrow.
I'll be interested to watch the replay of that. We'll have just to see exactly what did happen as you continue on with the live play, Weaver.
As Hume will bring the ball back in, runs his full measure, goes to the outer side of the ground looking for Goyder.
Gee, that's a big kick.
He could have been paid the mark. He's been paid a free kick, and Goyder will take the mark. Play on advantage, and the ball goes up the middle of the ground. Dunsborough have a bit of a run on here as they look for, is it Murdoch or is it Harris Craig? But
he's goaled it.
I think it's Caden Black.
It's Caden Black, I think.
Caden Black from one end to the other, did some ruck work down one end of the ground.
And then the ball's gone through the middle, but he's hit the post. Had a bit of height. That was excellent by Dunsborough. That was straight from end to end. Caden Black has hit the post, so he come off a bit worse for wear. I mean, he's kicked the goal, but he's hit the post himself. What a magnificent bit of play by Dunsborough. And that is the best they've done by far. Maybe that is the Buckingham, the Butchers' big moments. And he ran into the HBL player who cannoned him into the post. That's what happened.
Helped him into the post. Yes. He's been terrific, Caden Black. He's done a lot of work in the ruck, and he was taking that ruck knock down in the defensive end, and he's got a motor, and he got up there very quickly, socketed the ball off the ground for a terrific goal. 4 goals for 28, 7 goals for 46, 18 points back to that 3-goal margin at quarter time.
But
LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard.
Also, it's the first time Dunsborough were able to get in behind the very mingy half HBL defence. Miserly, that's the word I'm looking for, Weaver.
Ball comes in the middle of the ground. It goes down to Murdoch, and he was held without the ball and will take the kick in the middle of the ground. So they're on top here at the moment, the Dunsborough Sharks. Kicked the goal in the first half, brings the ball down. That's a terrific kick, and he finds Fimino. Fimino plays on straight away, looking there for Jones, but it goes over his head, and the captain in Williams takes the relieving mark. He has a handball. Crichton behind him, goes on the far side of the ground. Looking there, is it for Rout? Far side of the ground. So they're moving the ball beautifully here. HBL just drives the ball long. Centre wing. Ball sport there by Green. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. Centre wing, far side of the ground. 4 goals for 28 Dunsborough. 7 goals for 46 Harvey Brunswick. Dunsborough with all the play early in this third quarter. Goyder comes over the top. Wins the ball down. But it's tied up straight away. I think it was Ash.
Getting a bit of reward for effort, and as I said, if you're moving in quick to get over the top of that defence, you're halfway there.
It was Holman. One down there directly by Ward. He just puts the ball onto his boot. Geez, they're working hard now at Dunsborough. Comes over to Fimino. He gets a handball out in the direction of Ash. He's been terrific, just wheels around. Straight up forward. Over the back was Crichton, and could have taken the mark. Comes over to Big Billy Jones. Snap on goal from Black, was it? It goes across the face of the goal.
That would have thrown a cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it, Weaver? I mean, he had every opportunity. Once again, they got it in very quickly. And Black had a chance, but sprayed it just a little bit. Probably had a little bit more time than what he thought as Simon Moore comes back on the Harvey Neumann interchange bench. Thanks to SKG Radiology. Get your scans done there. And, of course, MGIB. Like a good neighbour, MGIB is there.
As Crichton runs his full measure, looking there for Anderson, tries to come over the top. He just didn't have the reach. And the ball's tied up on the far wing. Still 2 kicks out from Dunsborough's goal. They've had all the play in the last 10 minutes and they managed to put some scoreboard pressure on Harvey Brunswick. Margin 17 points as we move into time on in this third quarter. Ball's won down there by big Billy Jones. It comes over to Simon Moore. He gets a handball off to Ash. Ash looks down. Is it for Black? And all of a sudden the forward line, it was Harris Craig. The forward line for Dunsborough looks very, very potent.
Just quickly around the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil. Donnybrook 8 goals, 7.55. Lead Kerry Park 5-3-33.
Free kick paid here. And Fraser Ward will take the relieving kick for Harvey Brunswick. Plays on straight away to Anderson. Comes on the close side of the ground, right in front of the commentary box.
Well, there's a bit of pace for you.
Looking for Parford, but across the front comes Green. He's been terrific, and Green finds big Billy Jones.
Gee, I'll tell you what, Green put the afterburners on there. We talk about the pace of Anderson, but he's no slouch as he went around the boundary line.
You always look quicker with the footy, don't you? But he's played a terrific game as Green. Big Billy Jones here. It's the 4th goal of the quarter here for Dunsborough. So he's going to have a shot from about 45 metres out. Bit of a tight angle, but the right side for a right footer. Here comes the big fella, Big Jones. Deliberate shot on goal. It's a good looking kick, but it's just a little bit narrow. Makes the umpire work a little bit. Through for the minor score. 4 goals, 6-30. Dunsborough Sharks to the 7 goals, 4-46. HBL Lions on the LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard.
At least they've added a bit of life to the game, haven't they, the Dunsborough Sharks?
Ball's brought back in.
Bajetta.
And it's Jordan Bajetta. Switches play, far side of the ground. So just possession footy here for Harvey Brunswick. So they go on the far side of the ground.
Pretty wide too, I'd say. It is Ladies' Day at HBL today too, Weaver. So hope the girls are all enjoying their time.
Well, this might sound all right to them after 3 or 4 hours on the Champers.
It sounds silky smooth to Dean Lomax. He's just given us the thumbs up, our expert cameraman.
As Goyder wins the ruck knockdown, but doesn't find his teammate there. Ball still in dispute. Comes over to Moore. He's been terrific. This is a handball there. Puts his teammate under pressure. Geez, the umpires are working overtime today. And another ball up.
They've got the best stats today, the throw-ups.
Still a kick and a half out from Dunsborough's goal. Margin 16 points as we move into time on in this third quarter. As the big fella in Goyder wins it down towards Ash. Ash gets a handball over to Moore. Moore looks directly there. That's a beautiful kick.
Gee, they're starting to find a few targets, aren't they, the Dunsborough boys?
And I think this is Reynolds.
This is Reynolds. He's already got one for the evening.
So Reynolds, who put through a goal not that long ago from about 30 metres out directly in front. It's the same distance, just a slight angle. This to reduce the margin to 10 points as we move into time on in this third quarter. Kane Reynolds comes in now. Deliberate shot on goal. It's a beautiful kick. Straight over the umpire's hat. Kane Reynolds for his 2nd of the quarter. As the Dunsborough Sharks move to 5 goals, 6-36. Harvey Brunswick Leschenault Lions are just stalled at the moment. 7 goals, 4-46. LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard.
Yeah, it's game on, isn't it? The Sharks are getting in behind there. All those little mistakes they were making in the first half, they've just fixed them a little bit. They're hitting targets and they're getting it in quick to give their forwards half a chance. In the first half, they had no chance. They were given this HBL defence to push back and they just bottled everything up and they run it out with ease. But because of the smoothness they're getting in there, a big tick to Simon Moore and Patterson and Fimino and the midfield that are running through there. And a nice finish by Kane Reynolds. Gee, he kicks that ball well. We said that when he kicked the first one, didn't he? Laid back on it nicely. Umpire didn't have to move.
They're just getting the ball in the right hands as it comes out to Fimino. And it's over to Moore once again. He's been terrific. Just racks up possessions, drives the ball forward. Harvey Brunswick have the numbers here. Look out, here comes Anderson. Comes through the middle of the ground and finds Bennett. Right on centre half back, comes right in front of the commentary box and finds Jacoby Parford. Gets around his opponent with ease. And that was Candy. Sells him some candy. Hey, how good's that one? Comes over to May.
You like that one, Weaver?
Taken over to Templeton. Drives the ball down there, looking for Williams as he moved forward. The ball's going to run out of bounds, about a kick and a half out from Harvey Brunswick's goal. Quick transference of play there by HBL.
That was McGaw.
The debutant.
The debutant, yeah.
Bruce
Looks a bit
McGaw.
like Williams, doesn't he?
He does. Good size. Big future in front of him. Ball will be thrown in 70 metres out from HBL's goal. They need a goal here just to get themselves back into the game.
Oh, that's a... It was a bullet-like throw-in.
They've been terrific, the boundary umpires
Absolutely
today.
have.
I think the light got in his eyes. That's better. Umpires say playing it favours Goyder, but Goyder under pressure there from Anderson, kicks the ball out of bounds. Right in front of Johnny Bajetta in the interchange box there for HBL, and Anderson will bring the ball back into play. So Goyder got lucky there with another little errant throw.
And proceed to kick it straight out of bounds.
There's pressure there from, he's got players short. Decides to drive the ball in long. It's a beautiful looking kick. Just drops short there. Comes over there to Green. He's been terrific today, has Green. Comes over to Fimino. Gets around his opponent. Short kick in the middle of the ground. It bounces over everyone. But it ends up in the arms of Patterson, the captain. Looks there for Big Billy Jones, who's been terrific. He's moving well now. Gets the ball onto his boot. It's all about the bounce and foot speed. But Harvey Brunswick have the numbers there. And it's Kynan Pridmore. So Pridmore, he has back up there. Crichton's there to help him out. Runs around, wrong side for a left footer. He's going to go on the far side of the ground. Has a bounce. Weighs
And
up
stops.
his option. And goes short.
How
and
often do you
finds-
see someone stop in the Southwest Footy League? He did that until he waited till someone was there.
Bajetta drives the ball in and finds Anderson. So Anderson's been terrific. Had the kick in here not that long ago, right in front of us. He's on the far side
Covers
of
a
the
bit
ground.
of territory, Weaver. Reminds me of you when you were running around.
Yeah, but he covers it in one day. I'd take a whole week. And a few more drums of petrol. Ball in dispute on the far side of the ground, but Harvey Brunswick win it out. And the umpire once again, centre wing, far side of the ground at the beautiful picturesque Brunswick Oval. The light's really in effect now. Can't be long left in this third quarter. 7 goals, 46. HBL Lions, 5 goals, 36. The Dunsborough Sharks on the LJ Hooker property, Southwest scoreboard. One out there by Goyder, goes towards Anderson. They have the numbers here. Ball's trying to be tied up, comes over to Moore. He gets a handball out to Ash. Ash tries to win the ball out. Goyder just breathing in some deep ones. Finds the ball. Comes over there to, is it Green? Drives the ball in short. Harvey Brunswick have the numbers. Could have been a free kick. Over to Moore, but he's well tackled. And the umpire once again will throw the ball up. Centre half back position. 2 kicks from goal for Dunsborough. One before three-quarter time will really put them right in this match if they're not already. Push out there from Bennett. By sees that as fair play. Comes over there to my man in May. The ball socket out. Anderson, they have the numbers here. Crichton, Anderson, 2 Hayward medalists. Comes out there to Noah Ash. He has a shot on goal up towards Big Billy Jones. He gets a bounce that every big fella wants. Comes back there to is it Coleman. Ooh, probably could have gone the spool. Over to Anderson once again. No, it's Dixon. Dixon on his trusty left foot has the numbers on the far side of the ground, but there's a relay free kick.
Yeah, just caught him a little bit late. HBL's kick on the far side, Weaver.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's going to bring the ball across this side of the ground. Looking
Just while we
there
got this nice monitor in front of us here.
and finding his captain in Williams. Williams has Parfitt on a lead, uses his body, but the umpire deems that illegal. And Jake Green, who's been terrific for
He's
Dunsborough
played a
so
good game
far.
right from the start, Green.
He's got Noah Ash in short. The ball lands short, but he gets a good bounce, gets around one. Probably could have been done for holding the ball.
Yeah,
and the
it has
umpire
been.
sees it that way. And HBL will take the relieving free kick.
Who is it, Weaver?
It is. It's our man, is it?
Yeah.
Finucane looks down there for May. Drops the mark he should have taken. Comes back to Murdoch. He looks a likely player as well. Middle of the ground, finds Candy. Goes up into the middle of the ground and finds Moore. Still 2 kicks from goal. Simon Moore. He's been terrific. Beautiful looking
Gee,
kick.
that was
Beautiful looking
eyes
kick.
down, wasn't it?
Doesn't waste a possession to Simon Moore.
That was
And
all class.
Kane Reynolds is going to go back. and have a shot on goal 45 metres out for each third of the quarter to put the Dunsborough Sharks within 4 points.
Yeah, gee, that was Simon Moore. He's had an outstanding game, and you can see why he's won a couple of Hayward medals and has been a premiership player. He's an absolute star.
Reynolds has a shot on goal. I don't know if it's got the legs. Right on the siren. No score given. Just a little bit too far out there was Reynolds. 3/4 time. LJ Hooker Property Southwest scoreboard. The HBL Lions 7 goals 4-46. The Dunsborough Sharks within 10 points. 5 goals 6-36.
Well, the game definitely livened up in that quarter, Weaver, and all due to the Dunsborough Sharks starting to hit some targets and look pretty good. We're going to be back after the break for what promises to be a very interesting final quarter. And welcome back to Brunswick Oval, where it is 3/4 time. And thanks to the Dunsborough Sharks, they've made a very, very interesting finals quarter. It is Ladies' Day at HBL, so I hope they're all enjoying their time, having a bit of fun. This is SEN Spirits coverage of the Southwest Football League. Thanks to Hyundai and Cash for Cans. It's a very entertaining game, Weaver. Dunsborough, they started to find their targets and they started to get in behind the HBL defence and turned it. They have their chances.
Yeah, they did. 4 goals to 1 in that quarter to Dunsborough, and they just got the ball in the right hands, didn't they? Goyder's winning most of the ruck knocks, but he has got the size advantage on his opponent. But Moore, Green, Ash, they're all getting the ball in the hands, and then Reynolds moved forward, and he just looked like a real problem up there and kicked a couple of goals. Had a shot just on the siren just before 3/4 time, just a little bit too far out. Billy Jones got a goal, so the big fella got a goal, and all of a sudden he looked a different player. So 10 points, 3/4 time. They're right back in this game. And after Humphreys kicked the goal for HBL in that 3rd quarter, Harvey Brunswick were quite stagnant and Dunsborough had all the play. So they made the most of it. They put some scoreboard pressure on, find themselves 10 points down going into the last with every chance of snatching this game away from Harvey Brunswick at home.
Well, we said we had a look at the Dunsborough centre makeup in there where they had Moore, Fimino, Patterson ran through there a little bit. It looked pretty handy. And Jake Green has been sensational for them across that half-back line. So they've had some winners in that 3rd quarter. I was just watching HBL coach Johnny Bajetta, and I'm sure half that message where the run come out of our play, boys, and we need to put that run back in to finish off this game. So very interestingly poised game of footy this at Brunswick Oval. Absolutely picturesque. Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour. MGIB is there. Umpire holds the ball aloft. Final quarter action from Brunswick Oval and Nigel Reid.
The ball's thrown up. No, Ruckman wins it tight. I see John Bajetta's made some interesting changes in the middle as the ball comes out. Fino just throws the ball onto his boot, comes in the direction of Reynolds, and he's given away the free kick. And Anderson will take the relieving free kick just outside defensive.
That's a way to stop your run, isn't it?
So Jesse Crichton's moved into the middle of the ground. Bennett's rucking. Soulis and Anderson. Ball's coming out this right in front of the commentary box. The umpire's seen a free kick, and Manuel will take the relieving free kick.
He's had an interesting night too, Manuel.
Yeah, he has. He's been good. He's missed a couple of marks he probably should have taken, but that happens. The ball in the direction of Bennett. Simon Moore for Dunsborough works his opponent underneath the ball. It comes back to Moore. Gets around his opponent with ease, drives the ball short and finds Jake
Gee, I
Green.
know we say it a lot of times, but that is classy. Could have panicked. He didn't. He just held the ball back and hit Green.
Just knows his game, doesn't he, Moore? He knows he's not a long kick. He just never wastes a possession. As the ball's up in their direction of Craig, it comes over there to Ullman. Ullman just sucks the ball onto his boot. And John Ward takes the mark, plays on straight away, drives the ball in long, looking for big Billy Jones. Just lost his opponent there in Williams, and Billy Jones will have the opening kick of the last quarter.
Right on his limit, I would suggest, Weaver.
45 metres out, slight angle. But Williams ran back there expecting the long kick, and the kick just landed short, and Jones took the mark. So Jones will just cross 50 here. First shot on goal in the last quarter, crosses 50 now. Drives the ball long, but he's pushed it.
Forget about it right on his limit. It was just his direction that wasn't quite right. But that went through half goalpost high.
A minor score there for the Dunsborough Sharks. They get the opening score of the last quarter. 5 goals, 7 now 37. 7 goals, 46, the HBL Lions, as Williams will bring the ball back into play. He's going to come out wide, and he has Kynan Pridmore still inside defensive 50. All leads are short. He has Dixon in short if he wants him, and he finds him. So still inside, right on defensive 50. Dixon comes down the line there looking for Bryers. Bryers is well spotted. It comes over there to Candy. Candy comes back to Ullman. He drives the ball deep into the square.
That's a clever
and that's
kick.
A terrific mark by Dash Bridgham.
Yeah,
and
clever kick too. Just put it to his advantage, and Dash Bridgham did the rest. It was a very clever mark, but a well thought out kick in.
So Dash Bridgham will have a shot on goal. Opening goal of the last quarter from about 30 metres out, basically directly in front. Love the name. Can he finish it off? Good player. Dash Bridgham comes in now. Shot on goal, and once again he's made the umpire work really, really hard. That hard that the boundary umpire has to make the decision, and the ball's out of bounds. Let off there for Dunsborough. Let off there for HBL. And
two very easy, well, not easy shots, but well and truly could been and converted. Would have made an interesting scenario.
So Pridmore for HBL has Bennett out long, but he decides to go wide.
Kicked it underground.
The greatest kick. But Tom Ward has plenty of time to drive the ball long, and he finds, is it Bajetta on the far side of the ground? Williams, the skipper. Just outside defensive 50. Dunsborough really pressuring here. One-on-one footy. Being told to play on now. Runs around the man on the mark. And the ball is spoiled out of bounds on the far side of the ground. I think he was looking there for May. Centre wing, far side of the ground. 5 goals, 7, 37. 7 goals, 4, HBL 46. White and Emmett scoreboard. Early stages of this last quarter. So Dunsborough have worked themselves right back into this game with a 4-goal to 1 third quarter as Gorda wins the ball down, but it's tied up once again, and the umpires have earned their keep tonight and will come in once again and throw the ball up. Centre wing, beautiful. Brunswick Oval, Goyder wins the ball down. It comes over there to Anderson. He tries to get the ball onto his boot. The umpire said you did not. Play on advantage in the middle of the ground. That's a bit dangerous. Looking for Ullman. HBL have the numbers here. Wrapped up there by Green. He's done a terrific job there, Green, not to give away the free kick. Gained a few metres for his team. The ball's back in the middle of the ground, and once again the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. It's Bennett v. Goyder. Goyder gets him out of the way. Looks there for Fimino. He's been good today as well. Comes over there to Ash. He's also been terrific. Looking there for Craig, but the ball lands in front of him. Bryce is there. In comes Craig. Comes back to Harris Craig, or is it Ullman? Gets the ball down there looking for Big Billy, but it goes over his head. And once again, it comes out to Pridmore, who's got a couple of metres on his direct opponent. Will he run the ball out of bounds? He does run the ball out of bounds. Tries to sell, I'm not going to say it, should I, Crane? He tries to sell a little bit of candy to Matt Candy. And he's seen all that before.
Not buying any, was he?
He wasn't buying any of that. And the ball will be thrown in about 25 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Really pressing here, the Dunsborough Sharks. And it's Crichton in the ruck. He wouldn't have done that since under 12s, I wouldn't have thought. Comes over there to Moore. Moore gets a handball there to
high there on the way through.
And Simon Moore will have a shot on goal from about 45 metres out. This will be right on his mark, I reckon.
This will test him, Simon Moore.
He's been terrific. He's just had his own footy out here tonight.
He's done that a number of times in this league since he's joined us. Of course, an AMR Premiership player a couple of times, a Hayward medalist.
Simon Moore crosses 50 now, kicks from 45. It's going to land right at the top of the goal square. The ball's sport over there by my man in Manuel.
Got Hayward medalist galore out there. There was a Hayward medalist on the mark, yeah.
Two terrific players, and they've been terrific for their respective sides tonight.
We're talking about, of course, Jesse Crichton as well.
Ball's thrown in. Jones wins the ball down, looking there for Moore. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. The snap on goal. It's going to land right in the goal square, and across comes Templeton for HBL and runs the ball through for a minor score. 5 goals, 8 now, 38. Dunsborough Sharks, 8 points adrift of HBL, 7 goals, 4, 46. They've been stuck on that for a while now since Humphrey kicked a goal early in the third quarter. It's Williams to bring the ball in. All options are tied up. He's going to have to go long. Looking here for Fenwick. He's got a bit of a couple of metres on Goyder. Misses a mark he should have taken. Big Goyder. It's a long way down there, isn't it? In comes Anderson, who's been terrific. Gets around his opponent. Just handballs. It was a loose handball to Pridmore. He just chucks the ball onto his boot. Looking for Manuel. Comes back to Moore, who's been terrific. Gets a handball out towards Oldman. Oldman tries to get the ball onto his boot, but he's well wrapped up there by Fenwick. And the ball will be thrown up right in front of the commentary box here. At
this is where we want it, Weaver.
Exactly. I can see him now. Goyder v. Bennett. Bennett tries to use his body. Ball comes out to Anderson. Goyder hit it straight there. He has players on the far side of the ground. Tries to have a bounce. Tries to come back to him. Dunsborough have the numbers here. Ash is going to be the first man back. Comes over there towards Reynolds, who was terrific in that third quarter. Back over to Paris Murdoch. His teammate in Harris Craig has a bit of time. Looks inboard and finds Fimino. And Braden Fimino will have a shot on goal from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Gee, everyone was peeling away when Anderson had the ball. That was a terrific tackle. We're looking for tackle of the game too for Bunbury Mower Service, so well and truly in the mix.
Braden Fimino, been terrific tonight. Comes in now, deliberate shot on goal. Makes the umpire work a little bit.
Gee, they've wasted a few opportunities, haven't they, the Sharks?
5 goals, 9, 39. 7 goals, 4, 46 on the White Nemeth scoreboard. Early stages this last quarter.
Is that 3 straight points for the Sharks?
Ball comes back in and Templeton takes the mark. He's got players on this side of the ground right near the commentary box looking for Bennett, and Bennett takes a great mark. Had Sulos running past, decides to go longer to John Manuel. Manuel, it's all about leg speed now. We know Green has leg speed and he shows it once again. Turns his player inside out and has the numbers right in front of us. And Vandergaard takes a mark. Goes inside and finds Caden Black. Black's been terrific, the big fella. He's got numbers now. Looking there, and it's Paris Murdoch. Very good on both sides of the body. Goes on the far side of the ground, looking there for Simon Moore. Moore has the skills to get around his opponent, but Harvey Brunswick come in and tie him up. The umpire said you had prior opportunity. A little bit stiff there, Simon Moore. The relieving free kick will be taken by Jordan Bajetta. Great tackle there by Bajetta. Just outside defensive 50.
Kane Reynolds that was under that, Weave.
Well, they all look the same from here.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I was just looking on the...
As long as that radio's not on in the canteen, we should be right. As the ball goes out of bounds. Far side centre wing. 7 points adrift, the Dunsborough Sharks. Everything in this last quarter as Black wins the ball down, but it goes straight to Crichton. It comes over there to Anderson, the 2 Hayward medalists, and Anderson goes down and finds May on the far side of the ground. He's going to come in board. Mark was dropped there by HBL, and the umpire comes in and will throw the ball up about a kick and a half out from HBL's goal.
Yeah, they haven't been inside 50 too many times in this last quarter, Weaver, the HBL side.
A bit rattled at the moment, aren't they? As Black wins the ball down to Murdoch. He gets a handball out in the direction of Fimino, and the ball goes out of bounds. Will be thrown in once again on centre wing. Moved all the really top shelf players into the middle of the ground. Sulos, Crichton, Anderson, Luke Bennett's been terrific, especially around the ground. In the ruck at the moment. Goes over the top of both ruckman. The throw in comes back to Ash. He's been terrific. He's got a player out there in Moore. Moore misses the ball. It comes back to Ash. They're all over HBL at the moment. Comes over to Fimino, sells a little bit of candy and gets around. But the kick falls short. Been a free kick paid there to HBL. Play still going on here. Play on at all costs. Comes over to...
Let's have a look who just kicked that. Dunsborough have kicked the goal, I can tell you that.
I think it's Dash Brigham.
And as Dash Brigham has kicked the goal for the Dunsborough Sharks, and Weaver, that has really got this game on. So it's HBL 7 goals, 4-46. They lead Dunsborough 6 goals, 9-45. 1 point ball game, Weaver.
Thought that play was going to be held up there. Looked like there could have been a couple of times where it was.
And we're watching the replay as it went through. He just about had him, did the HBL defender. He pushed, he broke the tackle and had enough time to steady and pop one through. And they've been pressing big time, have the Sharks. And it is a 1 point. Where's Jared O'Brien? He actually tipped this one.
He did too, didn't he? We won't tell him.
No, I'm just getting a heap of messages from him, actually, Weaver.
The Dash Brigham done really well there to hold his feet, maintain his composure, and put through a terrific goal. The opening goal of the fourth quarter. 6 or 7 minutes in, they move within 1 point. The Dunsborough Sharks as Black wins a ruck knock over Bennett in the middle of the ground. It comes over to Patterson. Patterson's well tackled, back to Black. He's well tackled as well. The pressure's been terrific in this game, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up in the middle of the ground.
It's been just two distinct halves, haven't it? The first half of footy, not a lot to write home about. The second half, absolutely superb.
Black v Bennett. Black makes front position. But Anderson's the first man back, taps the ball into his own advantage. He'll have a bounce. He always does. He's got no one to kick to. Goes on the far side of the ground. But
well, that's a
great
good
mark
grab
there by Oldman. Brings the ball in, looking for Reynolds, who was terrific in that third quarter. In comes Williams. They're a little bit rattled, HBL. The ball could be tied up here, just inside 50. 40 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. Over all the play early in this fourth quarter.
It's been a long time since it's gone into the HBL 50, Weaver.
Billy Jones uses his ample size to win the ball out. Comes over to Soulis. He just chucks the ball onto his boot. Boucher's in front position. Hasn't done a hell of a lot tonight, has Boucher. Needs to. Comes back to Murdoch. And Murdoch goes in the middle of the ground. And
this fella has
Patterson. He's been terrific. Goes on the far side of the ground. Why wouldn't him looking for Harris Craig?
Oh,
over the top comes
mark.
Black.
That is a definite contender, I'll tell you what, Weaver, for the CPR outdoor mark of the day. He's been pretty handy, Black, but he's sideways into that pack, if that's a way to do it, sideways, but great grab.
Terrific mark by Black. He's been terrific all game.
Thanks to SKG. To get your scans done at SKG.
So to put Dunsborough in front for the first time since the opening score of the game, Caden Black, 30 metres out, 45-degree angle, comes in now, deliberate shot on goal, makes the umpire work a little bit.
He likes it.
He's worked
Does
a lot.
the goal umpire like it, though,
He
Weaver?
does.
He does.
Caden Black, terrific mark and finish. Puts Dunsborough in front for the first time since the opening score of the game as they move to 7 goals, 9. 51 to
Watch
the
the
HBL
replay
lines. 7 goals, 4, 46.
Yeah, we're just watching the replay of that match. If you're watching it on the SEN app, that's a terrific grab by Caden Black. He moved into that pack beautifully. And you know what he did, Weaver? Kept his eyes on the footy, and that made a big difference. And would you believe it, Dunsborough have hit the front into the last quarter. So HBL, well, the challenge is out to them. They were in total control in the first half of this game, but Dunsborough have turned it around since halftime.
So the debutant, Cruz McKay, goes into the ruck now against the big fella in Gorda. Just lets him ruck it straight down him. He comes over to Anderson, over to Soulos. He had Crichton there if he needed him. Back comes Crichton, tries to get the ball out. Ball's still alive in the middle of the ground. Murdoch comes over to, was it Candy? And he's been paid a sling. And Matt Candy would take the relieving free kick for Dunsborough. HBL side of the centre. He's got players on this side of the ground, and he finds Holman. Holman has Green right in front of the commentary box and hits him. Still on centre wing, right in front of the commentary box at Brunswick Oval. Comes down to the last goal kicker in Black. Across comes Templeton. He comes over to Dixon. Dixon has players in the middle of the ground. Solis misses what he should have taken, but recovers well. Drives the ball long, looking for Parfitt. Over there comes Dunsborough. Comes over there to Humphreys. Humphreys probably could have given away the free kick, but comes in now and lays a solid tackle. Ball's still alive down back. As Coleman comes in, the umpire's seen a free kick here.
Go to Humphreys, I think.
And Jared Humphreys has been paid without the ball. Plays on straight away. Has numbers on the far side of the... The ball's missed there by Briers, I think it was. And it's well wrapped up just inside 50. So one of the few inside 50s in this last quarter for HBL. missed a couple of marks. Maybe the lights just playing a few tricks on the players out there, Corona. They are beautiful lights, but there's a few marks that have been dropped that should have been taken. The ball's thrown up and Goyder comes in, wins the ruck knock.
Might be the pressure of the moment too, Weaver.
Ball's still not in dispute. The umpire's letting play go on here. It's just socketed forward by HBL. Comes over to Boucher. But in comes Dunsborough. They have the numbers here now and they've got their tails up. As it's Cameron Shaw wins the ball. Boucher comes in, needs to do something for his team. Over to Parfitt. Some sort of kick. It could have been deemed a throw. But the umpire said, is it a sling?
It's a kick back to HBL.
I think it's Parfitt.
And Parfitt will get the kick, Weaver.
Could have been a sling tackle there. So Parfitt probably going to kick from 50 metres out. 45-degree angle. This will test him all the way. Goal kicker. First goal kicker of the game for HBL. He's been good. Set up a couple. Set up one for route. Have Boucher short. He's going to back himself in here. 50 metres out. This to put HBL back in front by a point. In comes Jacoby Parfitt. Ooh, nearly got spoiled on the mark. It's a good-looking kick. It's just going to fall short. Ball's in dispute in the goal square. In comes Dunsborough. The ball comes back out. It might have went there to Fimino. Just chucks the ball onto his left boot. It's very hard to tell how close that is to the line out there. I think it's Anderson. Drives the ball long once again, but Dunsborough have the numbers, and the relieving kick, free kick, is taken by Holman. Misses his target there, and across comes the front of the pack is Parfitt. Just chucks the ball onto his boot. And Kane Reynolds, who's been terrific all night, smothers the ball, and the ball will be thrown in just inside forward 50 for HBL. Probably about halfway through this last quarter, HBL 7 goals, 4-46, trailing the Dunsborough Sharks. 7 goals, 9-51 by 5 points. Haven't kicked a goal for quite some time now, HBL, but they're inside their 50. Ball's one down, comes over to Reynolds. Over to their skipper in Patterson, who's been terrific. Parfitt is working really hard. Comes over to Dixon, gets onto his left boot and just chucks it forward. Black, who's been terrific for Dunsborough all night, drops the mark, comes over to Boucher. He's been very quiet tonight as
I reckon
Boucher.
he's going to get the kick, though. Is Boucher
Billy
for
Boucher.
HBL.
A shot on goal from about 50 metres out, directly in front. I watched him a couple of weeks ago against the Collie Eagles, and he was terrific. He's been a little bit quiet tonight, Boucher. Has his chance now, directly in front, kicking from 50 to put HBL back in front halfway through this last quarter. Billy Boucher, been to the hairdressers this week and got the rinse. Comes in now, gets a fair purchase of the ball. Has it got the distance? It sure has. Billy Boucher. Welcome to Brunswick Oval, Billy Boucher. A little bit quiet tonight, but he puts his team back in front, and HBL, their first goal for probably a quarter. 8 goals, 4-52. Leading Dunsborough Sharks 7 goals, 9-51 on the White Nemeth scoreboard.
Haven't been inside 50 too much of HBL, but when they did, they kept it in there like they did in that first quarter. Billy Boucher got a nudge in the back, and he made no mistake. That was a pretty handy kick too. We're going to put that one down for a WA Carpet Supermarket chance for a goal of the day, and mainly because of the timing of it. He had a lot of pressure on him then, did Billy Boucher, made no mistake.
Any goal's a good goal. 50 metres out. They've been really struggling to get a score on the board, HBL, but that was a terrific kick by Boucher. Well, that just might spark him up. They need to get the ball down there more often. 8 goals, 4-52. HBL.
Sometimes that happens, Weaver, when you work like Dunsborough, you work your way back into the game. It's very hard to keep that momentum up. See what they can do now.
Once again, the ball's one down. It comes over to Moore, who's been terrific. Just drives the ball onto his boot. Ball dropped there by Reynolds. It's met there by Williams, but in comes Reynolds once again, and the ball's tied up. Right in front of the commentary box here, Brunswick Oval. 8 goals, 4-52. HBL, 7 goals, 9-51. The Dunsborough Sharks. White Nemeth scoreboard. Goyder uses his reach and goes over
there
the
he
top.
is again.
Comes over to Moore, gets it to his skipper in Patterson. He puts it to the top of the square. They have the numbers here in Candy, and they also have Harris Craig. In comes a solid tackle. And the umpire once again.
How much pressure inside there, Weaver. I was just watching more to Patterson. That's happened to her a bit tonight for the Sharks. It's been a very good combination.
Black tries to use his reach, comes over the top. Comes over there to Crichton. Ball's just chucked on the boot by Dixon.
Ooh.
Bennett. I don't know if that was a realistic attempt. Comes back to Boucher. He lays a terrific tackle. May's in there as well. Over to Patterson, who's been terrific. Tries to get around his player, gets some sort of handball out. It comes back to Jordan Bajetta, and he just throws the ball onto his boot. Humphreys. Well, Humphreys is a long way down from full full, but there's no one else up there. He just chucks the ball onto the boot, but it doesn't get over his player, and the umpire's seen a free kick, and I think it's Simon Moore once again. Has a bounce, comes through the middle of the ground, looks down there. He's got Black, who's been terrific. Black gets his player under the ball. The handball comes back out here to, I think it's Dash Bridgeland once again, and Bridgeland kicks his second for the quarter. And all of a sudden, the Dunsborough Sharks respond with a goal of their own and go back in front. It might be Matt Candy.
Matt Candy, I think we're calling that, Weaver.
So Matt Candy, terrific goal. Looks very much like Dash Bridgeland, just quietly. 8 goals, 9.57. The Dunsborough Sharks move to a 5-point lead. 8 goals, 4.52. The HBL Lions on the White Nemeth scoreboard.
Yeah, look, that was a good response by Dunsborough. HBL worked hard to work their way back into front. But I tell you what, you can see the confidence growing in the Sharks, can't you? From the very first bounce, they were a bit hesitant. Now they've got a bit of confidence in each other.
Well, they're just getting it in the right hands. I just like the work of Black. He just gives their smaller brigade a second or third effort. Ball back in the middle once again. Goyder wins the ball straight down towards Crichton, and he's been paid a free kick. He's going to play on straight away. Uses his trusty left foot. Looking for the big... over the top.
Someone's going to take a beauty.
Couple of players injured down the bottom there. It comes back to Crichton. He's well met there by Fimino. Over to Templeton. Umpires come in.
No, there's
a couple of players down just inside HBL's 50. That was a huge leap.
Yeah, he landed a bit awkwardly on the way down, and he's just struggling a little bit. As one of the Dunsborough players who was involved in that is coming straight to the Harvey Norman interchange bench. Looks like he's got a bit of an arm injury.
Darcy Hume has come off.
Darcy Hume. He's coming a bit the worse for wear, which will allow Ward to come back on for Dunsborough. And the HBL player who was
Soulis, maybe, I'm not sure.
He was miles in the air. He is moving all right down there. He's just took the wind out of the sails, I think. The trainers are all around him. He's up on his haunches. He's up on his feet. And he'll come to the interchange bench, I reckon, for a little bit of a spell and recuperate a little bit. But he's walking off on his own steam, which is a good sign.
Just try and nudge those ribs to one on one side and some on the other. And
well, he was a long way in the air, wasn't he? That was an enormous attempt. Thanks to MGIB too, like a good neighbour. MGIB is there. And, of course, SKG. Get your scans done at SKG. Geograph Civil, we should go around the grounds. We're trying to get a score from the Donnybrook Oval. We haven't got one as yet. So, Jared O'Brien, if you're listening out there, can you flick us through a score from Dunsborough Oval?
So the ball's thrown back up. It comes over to Templeton. Crichton comes in, wins the ball down. It comes back to Ward. He just chucks the ball on the boot, but Dunsborough first player's in. The umpire's seen kicking in danger. And the responding goal from Matt Candy will be met by a shot on goal from about 45 metres out. It's Latrell May. It's Jay Rout. And we know he's got the leg. So Jay Rout directly in front will kick just inside 50 to once again put HBL back in front by a point. Kicked a beautiful goal in the opening quarter from about the same distance. This is a better angle. In comes Jai Rout. Oh, he gets a good purchase on that.
Oh, he
gets a beautiful purchase on that. And Jay Rout puts through his third for the game. And once again, on the White Nemeth scoreboard, HBL moved to 8 goals, 4.58 to the Dunsborough Sharks. 9 goals, 4.58. 8 goals, 9.57. The Dunsborough Sharks. Beautiful kick there by Rout. 50 metres out. There's been him and Boucher have kicked 2 beautiful goals from range in this last quarter. And we hope for an exciting game of football, Craney, and we've got it. for all that hard work Dunsborough done in the first and second quarter, all of a sudden they got scoreboard pressure. And this is goal for goal early in this last quarter.
Yeah, who would have believed it? We got a shootout. Thanks, Jared O'Brien. I know you're listening, mate. Donnybrook for around the grounds. Thanks to Geograph Civil. Donnybrook 83, Kerry Park 65.
Ball's one down by Goyder. It goes to Patterson. He gets the ball back to Goyder. Once again, gets Candy, breaks a tackle that he shouldn't have. Ball comes to Kane Reynolds. He turns around, has a good look at the goals, has a shot on goal, puts it to the teeth. Black's in there. Ball comes out to HBL. Big Billy Jones comes in. The big fella picks it up nicely for a big fella. And the ball's run out of bounds about 35 metres out from goal. Big Billy just letting him know that I can touch the ground and pick the ball up if I have to, even for a big fella. And he receives the free kick.
Oh.
Big Bill.
Gee, I tell you what, you want to keep discipline in these sorts of games. There's no doubt about that. Big pressure on.
No pressure on Big Billy as he's taking a shot on goal.
Hope the fences survive, as you can hear through the effects, Mike. There's a lot of pressure on Big Bill Jones.
Going to push this across the face of the goal. Black goes up for the ball. Williams knocks the ball down. Souther there comes over to Bridgeland. He's well tackled, could have been done without the ball. It comes over to Anderson. He just chucks the ball onto his boot. But who's there is Simon Moore. Got plenty of time. How can you let him go on his own? But that's one of his poorest kicks. And Dixon takes a relieving mark about 20 metres out from his defensive goal. He's been good tonight, Dixon. Just tucks the ball, just hangs in the air for a while. Bouches there. No one goes up for it. For any team, the ball's one down. It comes over to Dunsborough. And they're tied up about 70 metres out from their goal.
Gee, I tell you what, the time is ticking away too in this final quarter. We're expecting siren time, you'd think, at any minute, wouldn't you, Weaver?
Well, it's got to be close, but 3 goals to 2. There might be a little bit of time. The ball's chucked back inside 50. Big Jones is there. Over the top comes Black. Took a terrific mark in this quarter. Comes out to Bryce. Bryce just chucks the ball onto his boot. Goes through the hands of Goyder. Far side of the ground. Umpires come in, getting a lot of advice out there, and a free kick will be taken by Dunsborough. Humphreys might have given away the free kick.
A 1-point ball game. Have we got a draw on our hands, Weaver?
Well, I've seen a couple of draws in my time. It's got all the potential. I think this is Simon Moore to bring the ball back in. He's been terrific. One of the better players on the ground. Over the top comes Black. Ball in dispute, the numbers are there. Anderson there could have been paid a free kick. Oh, geez, there's some numbers around the ball here.
Tell you what, the intensity is absolutely fierce in that contest. All players around there.
30 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. We know there's not a lot of time left. Goyder goes up.
There'd be a minute left, I'm not sure, but we've already travelled a fair way into this quarter.
35 metres out from Dunsborough's goal. All players around the ball, other than 2 players in the middle of the ground. Ward comes in. Goyder just chucks the ball onto his fist. Gets the ball. The kick ball's kicked off the ground. And it's gone through for a minor score.
I tell you what, Weaver.
As Williams brings the ball in quick, looking there for Rout. Rout works his player under the plate, but the umpire sees it differently. And the free kick will go to Coleman. No, Ben Scott. He gets the ball on quick. Over the top comes Black. His opponent there in Manuel could have been taken without the ball. Over to Moore. Shot on goal from Reynolds could have been taken high. Does the umpire see it that way? The umpire says you had prior opportunity.
Oh, how's the pressure in this game of footy?
And Williams wins the relieving free kick. Fast.
That is it. It is a draw at Brunswick Oval, Weaver. Believe it or not, the siren has gone. The players are exhausted. They're out on their feet. But I can tell you, we'll wait till the umpires confirm it. As we see it now, HBL 9 goals for 58. It is a draw. Dunsborough 8 goals 10, 58. Weaver, the players can't believe it. The coaches can't believe it. We need the goal umpires to come and confirm it before it's all over as they head to the middle of the ground. As phenomenal scenes at Brunswick Oval. It's a draw on the scoreboard. Umpires are in the middle of the game, the 2-goal umpires. We just want to confirm this before we go to a break to make sure that it's as we see it at the moment. It is a draw at Brunswick Oval. And we just got they do it very official in the middle there, Weaver. As we wait, the players are out on their feet. What a magnificent last half of football. And we will stay here until we get this confirmed. Gee, they're taking a while to check those cards there, Weaver.
Well, we probably didn't do the last couple of seconds justice. I didn't hear the siren, but that was terrific. Here we go.
The umpires have confirmed it is a draw at Brunswick Oval. HBL 9 goals for 58 have drawn with Dunsborough 8 goals 10-58. Wow, what a finish to a game of Southwest Football League. We're going to take a little bit of a break just to get our breaths back, and then we're going to come back to wrap it all up. It is a draw at Brunswick Oval. Oh, wait. Hey, Nick, what do you got for us? Have we got another break in between here? So we go right through till 25 past, do we?